Well, I was gonna come on with like a catchy song or a clever quote, um, but I don't really have any. I with all the fun stuff that's been running around now, I just really never thought of it. So, yeah, sorry.
Thinking's overrated.
And welcome, Kadan.
How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine. Just fine.
Oh, did you need the watch page? I'll put it in the side.
Oh, I can get on that real fast. No worries.
Yeah, there it is. If and you need it.
But
Uh, so tonight's stream is entitled The Tale of the Elusive Adaptor and the Monitor That Got Captured in New York Customs.
dun dun dun.
Yeah. Now, many of you know, um, well, it's just the two of us watching, so I guess we'll just have the conversation. Um, uh, there were very nice people who got together and made my GoFundMe a success. So I bought a beast of a computer, or at least as beastly as could be afforded. It was 100 times better than what I had. It was a POS that was 10 years old. And good morning, John Doe.
Hey, John Doe.
So um, I started getting parts and components for it. I didn't build it myself. I just got the pieces parts and went about to putting it together. Like I've got a hard drive docking station. I've got a uh, 7 USB plug-in setup. Got a camera. Got an optical drive. What else? Got some cans. I know shit is slipping my mind, but I tried to spend it down to the last penny. And well, of course, one of the things that I bought was a monitor. Now I've got an old monitor, an old Dell monitor, and I was so overjoyed um, that I could wait for the new monitor to come in because of course I got the old monitor. I'll just hook the old monitor into the new rig. Well, no, because they have what was it? H or DVI cables or DVI plugins and
Yeah, I have no idea what
running
that
off
is.
of the monitor's SVGA. So they did not work. So I'm like, shit. Somebody was nice enough. They they streamlabbed me the money and said, just go out and buy one. So we had to wait a little bit. And well, uh, my stepdaughter had a problem, gallbladder thing, and so that delayed us for a couple of days. And so we finally got out. Well, I started calling around and checking for adapters, and so it went that none of the big box stores had anything like it. I checked out with CompUSA, with Staples, with Best Buy, with Walmart, and none of them had the specific one I needed because the DVI plugin could only house, and I'm saying this like I actually know it, but I don't. The plugin was 20 21 plus 5 or 24 plus 5 pins, which means that there's a major pin in it, a bigger pin than all the other pins, and it's surrounded by 4 small pins. Well, that is the one that everybody carried, and that's the one I didn't need. I needed a 24-1. So essentially, that big pin didn't have any little baby pins circling around it.
Yeah. John Doe is saying that old Dell monitor will be good for reading chats. There's always a way. And Monoprice. Always check Monoprice. And hey, Gulf City Fright Supremacists.
I don't know what a monoprice is. What is a monoprice? And good
Me.
morning, price premises.
I'm guessing a Monoprice has got to be like one of those like a Radio Shack maybe. I don't know.
Uh,
We have a Fry's Electronics here in Southern California. Like I have to drive about an hour away, but I mean it's got everything.
well, so I started calling around and I found a little mom and pop computer shop.
Mm,
And I'm like, hey, this is exactly what I need. And the guy on the phone was like, oh, yeah, yeah, hold on for a second. He was gone for about 5 minutes and came back and goes, yeah, we had one of these in the back and it's $10. I'm like, oh, it's
nice.
$10. Great. Um,
Monoprice.com, John Doe is saying. They sell
uh,
cheap cables but good quality.
well, I just didn't want to go to and online. You know, I wanted it in hand instead of waiting 5 to 7 days.
Yeah,
Um,
waiting even longer considering how long you had to wait for the stuff, because how long was that stuff being held hostage in New York?
oh, I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Um, so I went to this place to pick it up today,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't the guy that I talked to before because I'm like, hi, my name is such and such. I had him put my name on this so I could come in, just pick it right up. It's $10. The guy goes to the computer, types in, and he's like, I don't see your name in here anywhere. And I was like, well, he wrote my name on it and it's set aside somewhere. Is it under the counter? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he starts looking around and he goes over to like like one of those little pigeonhole setups,
Mm,
where they've got like little cubbies in them, but the cubby holes aren't they're not even big enough to like hold a legal pad of paper. They're just
yeah.
small cubby holes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Um, so he walks over there, looks at a couple of them, and he goes, "Oh yeah," and he pulls it, and it's got my name on it, of course. And I pull out the card, and I'm like, "Okay, so he said $10, and he looked at John Doe like male cubby holes. Um, he looked at it and he's like, "Oh, there's no way this is $10. It's got circuitry in it." And I was like, "Dude, the guy I talked to last night said that it was $10. They were going to put it aside for me." I had him on speakerphone. My wife heard the exact same thing. He's like, "Well, I can't sell this for $10. That wouldn't even be making my cost. I have to sell it for at least 16." And I'm like, who are you buying from where you have such minimal profit margins? So
And
you're
really 16? Like six whole dollars is gonna make the difference? And hi, anti-hero.
good morning, Antihero. And so I'm sitting there going, I'm like, this was promised to me at this price. He's like, well, I just can't sell it for this price. And I'm like, well, you're kind of milking me at this point because I was like, yeah, we were going to go and pick it up at Best Buy, but you guys had it for 10 and they had it for 15. And he literally in front of us goes back onto the computer and pulls up Best Buy on the website and takes a look at it. And then at that point, he goes, "Oh yeah, I can't sell this for $10." And I'm
Was
like, you know what? We're here. We wasted the gas. If you're gonna pull this, I'll go ahead and buy it. But here's the deal: I'll buy it. You're going to get a bad rating on Yelp and any other consumer site that we're a part of. We will never come here again, and we will encourage everybody that we know to never come here. And he's like, well, that's your choice. Now,
I
if he
agree with John
owned,
Doe. That is some bullshit.
yeah, if he was the owner, then that would have been okay. I could have seen the callousness. He was not the owner. He was just a manager. So we did as we promised because wifey just wanted to go over the counter. She
Hmm.
wanted to go over the counter and mama bear the shit out of him. And I'm like, no, this is something that we need. He's forcing the issue here, but now we know that these guys are douchebags, and we'll never deal with them again.
Nah, see, what you should have done was you should have asked to speak to his boss.
No, there wasn't anybody there,
It was just him.
just him. He was the only
Should have
person.
asked for like a corporate number or some like honest okay, so I live in California and we have these kinds of people. I used to work in the restaurant industry as a server and as a kind of managerial position. So I've had to deal with the people who would be like, "I want your corporate number," or get like I need to speak to your higher up and blah 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 blah. Now me, I could have always gone, you know, to my higher up to get them most of the time. There was like one Christmas where I was working where like they were off having a Christmas party, but I was the person who was in charge at the store. So I was like, I am the higher up. Like, good luck with that. But if you want, here's our corporate number and you go ahead and enjoy that. Um, but most of the time you can usually get somebody's boss on the phone, and especially if it's a place as small as that where it's just one guy who's in there by himself, easy to get a boss at the very least on the phone like right then and there. And if they refuse, like, well, they usually can't.
Well, see, the thing is that $6 cost him any additional business that would have ever come from us. And we have a lot of people around us that are boomer tech too. So if they can't trust the person walking in, then they're just not going to walk in. And he acted like he was the owner, which I don't know. The owner we found out was female, so I don't know if it's a husband and wife thing or what the deal is. But yeah, he essentially dicked us over. We got the one that I needed, and we left.
Yeah.
Took it
Um,
home. Well,
Antihero saying he's worked in retail a couple of years now, and this is the exact opposite of what they're told to do, which is true in both in major retail or major anything major customer service. Like the bigger the store, the least likely it's going to be. Also, hi Lord Byron.
good morning.
I'm at one of my booths. I manage it. I'm not the owner, but I will definitely turn on the I have fucking final fucking say kind of bullshit if the owner of the booth isn't in the booth. And even then I'll still sass him back, which is probably why he has me as his manager, because I'll just yell at him and be like, I'm just trying to make you more money. You take the money, okay? I know I upped the price by like $5, but I'm trying to make you more money because you make all this shit by hand.
And
Um,
and I've literally never seen anybody jack the price up while I'm standing there.
mm-hmm.
I mean, holy fucking shit. And he had to go to another company's website to get a price comparison to see how much he was going to jack it up. That's just insane. That is some brutally insane bullshit. And yeah, you're right, John Doe. I could have paid like $4 and had an adapter shipped to me that would have taken about 3 or 4 days. But at this point, I had been waiting about 7 days because my monitor was supposed to have come in already. All my shit was supposed to be in by like the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
So I even waited a little bit longer than I should have. Good morning, William.
Hi, William.
Um,
Um,
so I was done. I was done. I was ready to pay, and he bent me over, and there was no Vaseline involved, but I walked out with what I needed. I went and got everything hooked up. The beast is up and running. Um,
woo.
but I apparently apparently my monitor has been held at New York Customs since like it's like the 19th, the 18th or the 19th, something like that. It's still
Uh,
sitting there. And I tried to figure out what the hell was going on, see if I can get a better explanation of it. I didn't get anything from my side because I'm the recipient. So I went ahead and contacted the shipper, my Asian seller, and I said, "Hey, what's going on? I have no idea what's happening here, but it's sitting in New York Customs in like Edgewood or something, New York." And I'm like, "Can you please find out what the hell's going on?" And they're like, "Yes, valued client, we will help to you." So I haven't gotten word back from him yet as far as what the fuck's going on. But yes, my sparkling 21.5-inch monitor um, is sitting in New York, apparently under house arrest from customs officials. Like they, you know, stuck small laborers inside them or drugs, and they had to take it apart or something. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is the first time that I've seen a package just sit, and it's been a fucking week, a week plus. John Doe, I was buying the monitor from Asia. It had a pretty decent price on it.
um, Anti-hero is talking about customer service is how you keep customers. Been told by management to let customers return shit they don't even sell sometimes. He had to let a customer return tires once as he was working at Home Depot. And yeah, no, for large chain stores like that, like customer service is usually the number one, and it's really fucking frustrating. Like I almost got fired one time um for not staying nice when a customer called me a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
And so like obviously this dude at this one fucking small chain little fucking store is a stupid douche who doesn't give two shits about customer service. And he's probably just walking around with his dick in his hand like that because he didn't have the boss there fucking to backhand him. He got to act as, lead dick in charge. And sometimes when it comes to certain people, once they have that kind of power, they will fucking exercise it in the worst way. And I know Home Depot doesn't sell tires.
Well, and yes, um, he was bald. He was short. I
Yep.
always have trouble with guys who are short and bald because they've been looked down on all their life, and they're gonna rise above everybody that they can and just be assholes. Um, but the woman who owns the computer store, um, she is apparently very interactive with Yelp. So we put a 1-star review on it, and we'll see what she actually has to say. But yeah, there's no way I'm going back into that store. And also, there's no way I'm driving to Edgeville, New York, or wherever the fuck it is to go get my monitor. I'm
Well,
gonna,
there might be a number you can call, right?
huh?
There might be some place you can call though, right?
Mm-mm. Oh no, I'm good with that shit. I found out where it was, but 9 times out of 10, you'll get a phone that will never be answered. You have to leave a voicemail. Then, if they decide to get back to you, then they will. So, from the receiver side, it's almost useless. But the seller has a little bit more pull, so I'm going to see what the fuck's going on there. And if nothing else, either they give me the money back so I can get another one. And I mean, I tried to get everything within the states, U.S. time, 3 to 5 shipping. And I because the monitor was such a good price, I went with it offshore. Well, I fucked up. But most of the time, anytime you're trying to buy something that's on the continent, they will usually mark it up about 60 to 70% more than what you would get if you paid in China or Japan. The
Mm.
the adapter I found, um, I could have gotten it from overseas, and it would have been like $3. But then again, $3 plus 21 days. Yeah, I could not handle that. So I decided to, go local. And I know I'm gonna need an adapter or a cable because the monitor that's coming is HDMI. Good morning, Hex.
Hey, Hex.
Um, the monitor that I've got coming is HDMI, so I'm going to need another HDMI conversion to DVI. So I know that shit's coming now. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why I hate being a boomer.
Are you serious? Right now, you were just talking some sort of ching chong.
Yeah, now my rate of absorption is very good. Um, Retention, not so much, but when we started talking about because we actually, oh, I should mention this. We actually did have an adapter that was sent, and the adapter was that Elusive 24.5, which apparently that's what they make most of the adapters now. 24 pins plus the 5-pin setup.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we wasted like I think it was like $5 on that. Um, John Doe, mm, all of the hookups for all of the drives, all those ports um, are actually um, are DVIs, or you've got that one big fat wide slot thing that you can plug into, and I guess if you have the right cord for the HDMI, you could probably use that. But yeah, let's say that this gives me a headache. I fucking hate this kind of stuff. I'm not going to say I'm an artiste, but I'm artistically inclined and
Mm-hmm.
I'm autistically inclined. So that means I really just don't want to fucking deal with tech. Dude, come on. Did I not mention I'm a boomer? No clue what the video card is. It tastes like butterscotch. Does that help?
Yes.
I do not know. Good morning, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
So yeah, um, I essentially I've got a, monitor in impound in New York, and I got the adapter that I needed. So the beast is up and running. I did post a link on or I did a tweet that just basically from Spaceballs where they go plaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I mean, I had to download like 12 programs that I normally use, like Avast and Spybot and Kindle, um, Acrobat, just a whole bunch of stuff. OBS, um, uh, um, Open Office. And the first time I downloaded OpenOffice onto my old rig, OpenOffice took 5 minutes to load, and it took roughly 15 seconds.
Ooh, nice.
I mean, it was like bing. Everything was like bing. I didn't have to wait more than 1 minute. I transferred over, um, what was it, about 6 gig of artwork over, which
Ooh.
would have taken, 15, 20 minutes. And it took like three. So this bitch processes.
Yes, Eric Folmes is saying ludicrous speed. John Doe wants to know how far away will the monitor sit away from the computer?
Which one? Uh,
Uh,
the new one, and put it in the hole in front of me. It's a fairly short drop down. No more than like a 2 foot cable.
Nicholas, hello, Nicholas. He's saying, didn't you have problems with a 4-pin DVI-D?
Yes, yes, Nicholas. That's what I was talking about. Uh, how they say it in the industry is a 24 plus on that big pen, and the one that we had initially ordered, because I had no idea what I was ordering. I thought, there's the big fat pen, and then there's the other pens. All right, cool. We'll order.
Yeah, he's like, stupid how there's DVI-I and DVI-D, huh?
As in, did I get dicked with the DVID? Yeah. No, but how they how they categorize it is, whatever the big pin is. If there's anything around that, that's the plus. And I ordered a 24 plus 5 when it should have been just a 24 plus 1. So, that shit was not going to fit. Initially, I put it on there and I'm like, hey, what's the deal on this? And then I look at the at the case, whatever that thing is, where the plug-in is. I I look at that, and then I look at the adapter, and then I look at that, and I look at the adapter, and I'm like, son of a bitch, it's got extra pins. Yeah,
John,
yeah, John Doe. I had half a mind just to take some fucking needle nose, snip, and just snip those motherfuckers off. And wifey was like, well, we can't return it if you do that. And I was like, we're not going to be able to return this anyway. Because who the hell's going to take it back? Because I made the mistake.
well, no, they'll usually like they'll take back something like that and either give you, most places should take something back like that unless you broke it. And if anything, you can always resell it.
Well, I used to work for one of the world's biggest lingerie companies, and we had a woman who sent back a pair of panties she had bought 4 years prior.
Well, that's different though, Doc.
Wait,
Like,
hold on. They were soiled and threadbare, and we took them back.
yeah. Uh,
You know that in that big distribution center of that major lingerie company, they have people whose jobs are smelling the clothes when they are returned. As a matter
I
of
know.
fact, there are 2 big cans of coffee beans. And if it gets a little too stressful on them, they can smell the coffee beans to clear their nasal palate. If you smell coffee, it can cleanse your nasal palate, so you're able to smell some more.
Yeah, but it doesn't bleach that scent from your mind.
Well, no, not from your mind, but it lets you do your job. It's so funny. Somebody call me in and say, yeah, I just had a question. I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you guys resell returned merchandise? And I'm like, well, if it's considered to be in good shape or somebody got it and they just didn't like the sizing and immediately returned it back to us, yeah, yeah, we do. And she goes, well, next time, can you tell the guys who are checking the returns that they should probably clean the uh, snot tissues out of the pockets, and since I don't smoke, this half a pack of cigarettes that was in here is pretty useless to me too.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah. Needless to say, one of the few times that I ever sent out an appeasement, I'm like, I will send you out a gift card for $20. That's inexcusable. And she was like, I really wasn't expecting anything out of it, but thanks. And I was like, well, yeah, because that's pretty crappy. And she's like, yeah, I didn't think it was cool either. I just wanted somebody to know. And I was like, well, I'm somebody who now knows, and I did something about it. And she's like, I appreciate that. And I was then we ended the conversation with, well, what kind of cigarettes did you get?
If you want, feel free to return those cigarettes.
Well, I had people send me Cougar chewed pants, so
Yeah, I remember that.
cigarettes is definitely not out of the question. I even had one woman. She was a what do you call them? A script supervisor
Hmm.
for X-Files.
Oh, cool.
And we got to talking because it was taking forever to get feedback from the manager, because there was something that she wanted, and the policy back then used to be, well, we'll send it to you, but you got to make sure and send the other one back. And we were losing millions because people would get it, and since they weren't charged for the replacement sent out, they never sent out the other one, or they never sent back the other one. They gave it to friends, or they sold it online. That's a very common occurrence with this company, um, because they have a huge brand name and everybody loves their women's lingerie. Um, But I said, well, this was something that was like a $120, like a pair of boots or something. And I was like, well, that's kind of a big ticket. So, we'd honestly have to charge you for it to send it out. I don't feel good about doing that, since, we sent her out. The pair that she got um, had like scratch marks on the boots,
Hmm.
like somebody scuffed them, like they were pre-worn. So, um, I'm like, this is something I'll have to get approval from my manager. I'm willing to do this for you, but they have to sign off for me. She's like, oh, okay, that's fine. So we had a couple minutes to kill, and she was like, yeah, I was going to wear them on the set, and because they're awesome. And I was like, oh, set, what? Like on a movie set or something? She's like, oh, no, 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 I work for Fox. We got a little time off, and I got to go back up to Vancouver because I'm a script supervisor for X-Files. And this was what, like, this was just before turn of the century, so probably 98, somewhere around
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
So they were still hot, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like a pretty cool job. She's like, well, you get to travel every so often, but it can be pretty boring. And uh so the manager finally comes around, says, okay. And I'm like, cool. Okay. They said that we can sign off on it. She's like, and I'm going back up to Vancouver in 3 days. And I was like, I tell you what, just because you're willing to hang on the line here with me, I'm going to go ahead and expedite the service. I'll get it to you before you leave. And she's like, you would do that? And I was like, sure, I would. And what most people don't recognize is that if you're running with a catalog company or a distribution company or an online company, that shipping is a win-win regardless. Because usually, if you're a huge company, that means you have a huge contract with your delivery agent, so you get huge breaks. So waiving shipping is nothing. It's no big deal. So if you ever want to get a little bit something extra and you have a legit complaint, definitely go ahead and you can get some free shipping. Um, what I'd recommend you put a board under the PC so the carpet doesn't restrict the flow to the bottom. Um, there's no air holes or vents in the bottom. Everything's on the sides. Um, so I send it off. I don't think anything about it. You know, you're taking, like 80 to 100 phone calls a damn day. So I don't think anything about it. I just go on about my merry way. Like 2 weeks later, I get called up by security, and security was like, um, you can't ask people to send you things. And I was like, dude, you've been in security for a year. I've been on this job for like 3 or 4. So I know what the rules are. I never ask anybody to send me anything. And the head of security shows up. I'm buddies with him. He was a cool guy. Um, and so John comes up and he's like, "Well, what's going on?" And it's like, "Well, this lady sent this to him." And I honestly just thought that she just wanted my code so she could send something, send a little note. Hey, this associate was really helpful to me, and blah blah blah. That kind of thing. Send it up for a back pat. What
Yeah.
she did was she actually sent me. Uh, she sent me a couple of erasers that were X's. To go. They were pencil toppers. They were X file pencil toppers.
Oh, that's cool.
That was nice, but she also sent me uh, 2 filming scripts, one from X-Files and one from Millennium.
Oh shit. Hi Metaforest. Hey Cozy Straitjacket.
Good morning, Metaphorist and Cozy Straitjacket. I didn't know this, but Metaphorist is hip on glass blowing.
Oh, I love glass blowing. I mean, I don't know how to do it. I love watching it though.
Well, now that kind of makes me. Oh, by the way, long story short, John was like, "Fuck it, let him keep them."
Yeah.
So I have 2 actual shooting scripts. And the X-File pencil toppers are gone. I don't know where the fuck that they went. But we used to have uh, one of those artsy colleges. Well, you guys know I'm in Ohio. There's a place called Antioch College, and Antioch was their claim to fame because they're all hippies. It's in the town of Yellow Springs. That's where Dave Chappelle lives. Um, they're all hippies, and they all had side curriculums that were legitimately basket weaving and like glass blowing.
Yeah. Hi Michael.
Good morning, Michael. And their big claim to fame is that they were the second college to officially protest the Vietnam War. Ooh wee,
Now,
big deal. Number
n-
2, who cares, right?
yeah, well, here's my question. Like, because I have zero qualms with people doing peaceful protests. Like if that's really what you want to do with your life, that's fine as long as you're not hindering people or harming people. Now, if they're one of the colleges that protested the Vietnam War in the way where they'd wait for the soldiers to get off the plane so they could spit at them, then fuck that college.
No, it's Ohio. They were nowhere near anything interesting. That's probably why
Hi,
they.
nation of no one.
And Nation of No One, good morning, have a wrench. So this was going on, and I had a crew where we used to like to get really really high. And it was all on accident, and it's all alleged. So moving on from that, we decided to drop acid and go down to Antioch College. where you were allowed to be spectators. You were allowed to sit in on classes. So we went to the glass blowing class, and the glass blowing class was actually like 3 or 4 hours because well, it's glass blowing. You don't get it done in like 15 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
We were tripping balls, and the professor knew we were tripping balls, and he set us up to a place where it was far enough away from the kiln, but close enough to where we could see them actually tool and manipulate the glass.
Yeah.
And we were just out of our fucking heads, man. The guy made a vase. And once he finished, he put the handle on it. Well, I guess it's more like a pitcher. I don't know. I was tripping balls, so and
It
it was
could.
more like a yeah. I guess it was more like a pitcher. And after he got done with it, it cooled for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then he came over and showed it to us. And we literally stood up out of our chairs and just gave him a standing just gave him a standing applause. It was, and he just kind of looked at us, and we looked over at the professor like, oh shit, did we do something wrong? And he just threw us up a peace sign. And we sat back down, and we watched some more people blow glass. And then at the end of it, he actually decided to do one himself, and he got as close to us as possible. He stayed just out of arm's length because if inflating glowing glass would have come towards us, we'd have been like, "Ooh, pretty, must touch." So he actually did a little gimmick. Oh, good night, Antihero.
Good night, my love.
So he actually did the little gimmick where he did it close up, like sleight of hand magic kind of deal. And our eyes big as fucking saucers. We're just like, this is the greatest thing we've ever seen in our life.
Well, tripping balls like that, fuck yeah, you know?
Oh yeah, I had a good supplier back then because uh, she used to run with the Grateful Dead, and so she'd come back in town and drop some love on us. She'd drop a sheet, and the sheet was like, what was it? I think at the time we were paying like $75 a sheet, and a sheet is 100 hits. And well, I'm sure she paid less for it, but I mean, damn, that $75, and we'd sell them for that'd make them 75 cents a piece, and we'd sell them for $3 a hit, allegedly.
Yeah, yeah, allegedly. Um, I've never, I've never done acid. I've been offered before, but considering how weed affects me, um, or affected, I avoid weed now as well. But considering how that affects or affected me, I figured trying acid would not be a very intelligent thing to do.
Mm. Oh, good morning, everyday man.
Hey,
Uh,
everyday man.
yeah, if you have problems with the loss of reality or potential anxiety about the
Hmm.
loss of reality, acid is not for you. It is.
Well, go ahead.
Um, uh, I I've done extensive tripping, but I've always been in the frame of mind that something wonderful and fun is going to happen. And
Well,
I've never had a bad trip. I know I've said this before, but I dropped acid every weekend for 20 months in a row, and I have no detrimental effects to it. The only detrimental effect that I've ever had that's been long lasting are all the fucking concussions that I've had. Drugs have never been a problem. Um, well, they're a problem now because I can't get any. And when I
Yeah.
turn, and when I turn 60, I want to trip one more time. I've got one more in me. So, if I ever get popular enough, get up over like 1,000 subs or something, I will get a PO box and I will ask people to send me LSD because LSD is the one thing that's undetectable if you're mailing it.
Good to know.
It has no smell. It has no taste. As a matter of fact, one of the big things, um, allegedly, I had some of the brotherhood of well, not my MC because I was always an indie, but uh, people that I hung around with who rode motorcycles. Um, I would I would send them mail, and this is back in the days before everybody figured out how shit was getting in because they always
Hmm.
it was like guards smuggling it in, which that's what that's what it is in modern day now. So even the guards have to do pat downs nowadays. But I would simply take and I'd send a letter to them, and of course, when you're in jail, especially when you're in prison, they will open your letters. Now, back in the day, there wasn't that much gang activity. So it's not like they were trying to find, this hidden cipher to see if somebody was calling out for a hit on somebody, right?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they'd open up the letter there, they'd see if there was anything inside or any contraband, and then they put it back in the envelope and give it back to the or then they'd send it on to the inmate. Well, we used to take hits of blotter acid. And what we'd do is we'd wet the far edges of the stamp, and then we would put down a couple of tabs, and then we'd just place the stamp over the top of it, and it was almost completely undetectable because it's just a thin piece of paper under another thin piece of paper. So that's how acid got into the prison system.
Yay.
Like if somebody sent somebody a big package, and back in the day, there weren't electronic stamps that you could run across it, so you had to put a shit ton of stamps on it. Yeah, we sent
Hmm.
one guy a fucking sheet. I sent him a sheet because it had a shit ton of stamps on it, and he got it, and he was really popular for quite a while. But I could not imagine tripping in prison. Ugh.
See, one of my problems, because what's it was saying, if there's no trip quite like acid, but if I can't handle weed, it's not that I can't handle weed. Um, it's the fact that as Muffin had once described it, me on weed is like a regular person on acid.
Well, basically, it messes with your serotonin, and it causes visual and audio distortions.
Well, well, so like I have some like, you know, crossed wires in my brain, like um bipolar and borderline psychosis, and some minor anxiety, minor OCD, like all this weird shit in my head. My psychiatrist had even suspected I may have had a small form of Tourette's. Um, so like there's some crossed wires in my brain. Uh, it's nothing that's too serious that it can't be lived with, but at the same time, like if weed affects me in the way where, you know, I'm at this point of hallucination, like whenever I smoked weed, I was always like, oh, I have a weed epiphany. I now know the secret to time travel. Or I'm aware of the fact that the grass is trying to steal my life force, or I know that I am able to swim through carpet because matter is fluctuating, blah blah blah, blah. Like
Yeah.
it's a trip in and of itself, and that's just weed. Now, if it were acid, Muffin would be Muffin has said that if I ever wanted to try, she wouldn't suggest that I do, but if I ever wanted to try, I need to be around like people that I love, that I trust, and that has had some form of experience with acid, and to make them aware, and like she wants me to be very careful, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm gonna avoid anything generally hallucinogenic, just as a precautionary thing, because weed, which most of the time for most people will help like chill them out, relax them, and all this jazz. It makes me hyperactive. And like I've had I've been not what's the word?
Oh my God, Cat.
Hotboxed.
Okay, if you want, here, come on up. She's sitting there rubbing against she's got her paws up on my thigh, and she's side rubbing her head on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, aren't I cute? Don't I deserve to be up on your lap?
Why,
Okay,
yes,
you're
she
on
does.
my lap. My hand is around your throat. Now go to sleep. Oh, she's purring up a storm. She knows what gets me. If she gets a good purgle going on, then then she knows she's going to get up here. But yeah, psychedelics are definitely nothing to mess with. I mean, uh, legitimately, it was the government that invented the most powerful LSD,
And
and that was
methamphetamine too.
LSD 25.
Well,
And
what
it
Yeah.
kind of
tasted
party
like
am I
chicken.
missing?
And a very good morning to you, Mark. How you doing?
Hey,
Hey, Mark.
not too bad. Sorry, I'm late.
Looks like you got the lighting going on though.
Oh yeah. I'm just the wifey kind of wanted some together time, and then we kind of fell asleep. So
Oh well,
I'm a
fuck
little.
that. Go back and get some more.
I can't sleep. I'm a
Uh,
night owl, man. This is the Insomniac podcast, right?
well, yeah. Well, you don't technically have to, sleep when you go to bed.
Nah,
What
Yeah.
you're
are you
right.
doing, cat? Ow! Don't step on my balls.
No step on other snake.
Oh, ow! She pinched a nut. Oh, fucking cat. I hate you for now. Go away.
Rude. Rude.
Woo.
I feed you. I water you. I let you eat green beans whenever you want.
Cat can
Fuck
eat all
right
my
off, cat.
cat can eat all my green beans. Fucking A, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was sitting there, cleaning my plate. A little nubby of green bean falls off. She walks over, sniffs it, eats it. I'm like, what the fuck?
cat's eating vegetables.
Yeah, I don't want my cat to be a vegetarian. They're here for the specific purpose of killing Mises.
All the Mausers. Where'd I put my thing? I require my thing.
Oh, they're the shittiest Mausers in the universe, man. Oh well, I can't say that. They have killed like about a dozen mice so far, and they love to do the prideful thing. Look, I killed this, and they set it down at your feet, and usually it's only a half a mouse,
I pay you
and you find
tribute.
the other half in the morning after they throw it up.
Jesus God. No, it's bad.
Yeah, they suck as cats, but they purr, so that kind of offsets shit, kind of. And the white one thinks that she's actually having conversations. Uh, she will come up and she has different meows, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and you can figure out what the hell she wants, and deny her that because you just don't want to get up.
Oh shoot. Okay, what did I just put?
Let's see. So yeah, I don't know if you're able to tune into the show tonight, but Justin and I had a nice conversation even before, and I was like, dude, here's where I stand. I know what happened. I don't want to know what happened on the air. I think you guys have been eloquent enough. Both you and Johnny Mac have talked about this on your independent streams. I think it's been covered completely. I will not bring that up. But what I will bring up is, hello, Rose Dower. Good morning.
Hey, Rose Dower.
Hello, person. I'm not watching the chat.
I said, but what I will bring up is the challenges after a cast change. So if you're comfortable with that, then I'm comfortable. He's like, yeah, man, I got to talk about it somewhere. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to talk about it. So I might as well, get it out on a stream where I don't have to act like a ghost. And I was like, well, here you go. Here's your platform.
No, what did I miss? Like, what's going on?
Ghastly. An interview with Ghastly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gulf City, AP and Ghastly parted ways.
Oh yeah, I've heard rumblings. I don't know too much about it. It's best if I don't get involved.
Well, it's not anything to worry about getting involved or not getting involved. It's just as simple as, they're Ghastly's still doing Gulf City, and AP is doing Bloodstream. They're just doing their own things right now.
Ah.
Yeah.
This is kind of a permanent thing. The way it's been explained, and I know there's I don't think there's any tactful way to talk about this, but there was some drunken claims. Somebody had a little bit too much of the spirits and kind of went off on a tear, and it was a bad thing to do. It did not make this person look any better. But initially they just said, listen, it's a contract dispute. So AP's going to go his way. And, Justin Ghastly created Gulf City. AP might have been the engine that ran the early version of Gulf City. And I even said this to Justin. I'm like, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the bounce back is. I'm hoping that AP leaving doesn't cripple Gulf City, because he was not the only draw or the only reason for people showing up, but there were undeniably people who showed up because of him. And
so they're going to be pulling cast members from what have you, and then they're going to start their own projects, or
no. Tonight he was talking about Mina's not going to be there any longer because she got a job someplace else. And since how he works is he does face capture,
right,
on people. Well, since she's not going to be there, he's got to find a new Mina.
Oh no!
So he's got to find a new Mina and a new AP. But like he was talking about on the show, and he was giving some good inside information, because, well, you can't get farther inside than the guy who creates it.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have just natural charisma and talent that just can't be replaced. That's just seeing this, just listening to AP, like wherever I stumble across him, it's just like, he's got this animal magnetism, or animal something or other.
Well, and he's a good battler, man. I don't know anybody on the internet right now that could beat him in a Yo Mama fight.
That's too accurate, yeah.
Oh yeah, because
here's my take on how Gulf City's gonna go. I think Justin, or Ghastly, whatever you want to call him, I think he's a good enough writer that he'll be able to figure this out just fine. And then AP, he's got or Johnny Mac, whatever you want to call him, he's got this sense of charisma and personality that he can go ahead and be successful in whatever endeavors he takes part in. So I think they're both going to be just fine in their separate endeavors.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing that really breaks my heart is, it's technically the end of a 20-year friendship.
I didn't know they knew him.
Oh yeah, yeah. They've known each other for a long time.
Jeez,
Especially in internet years. That's like dog years.
Yes, it is.
So
Boy, is that accurate. Yeah. How so what exactly is it? Like what's the what's the reason for the fallout? It's just like, I mean, if it's gonna, dig up some old wounds, I don't want to pry, but like,
well, if you don't mind, I don't think yeah, I don't think we should really discuss any of that right now. I think just the fact that they're not doing the thing. And if you want, you can always go and try and ask them, because I think it's always better to get such things from the people themselves,
true.
instead of listening to other people or outsiders who've only heard so much.
Well, and the initial story was there was a contract dispute, so they decided to go their own way, and that's still the official story out there. I mean,
Yeah, high
there's
City Scotsman.
yeah, I mean, there's probably a little bit more to it, but this isn't it. The worst part about it is not the fact of not the facts surrounding how it happened. It's the whole thing of there's a long-term friendship that just went to dust.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, you're right, Fright supremacist. That's essentially what they both said at the beginning. A contractual dispute, and they decided to go their own way.
Oh, that's sad.
So there wasn't any weird shit going on, like how supposedly, and I tend to believe that El Rariachi douched over Killing Joke.
I have no idea what that's all about.
Yep, I know nothing. I avoid the drama. I avoid even hearing about the drama as much as possible.
Unfortunately, I'm invested now. I do what I can to stay out of it, but there's,
Yeah,
well, one of the main reasons why I avoid hearing about the drama is because as soon as I hear about it, it's one of those things where it's just like, well, now I can't, excuse me, now I kind of want to talk about it. And I'm like, well, it's not my shit. It's not my drama. So I shouldn't,
I just wanted to say hi to Gulf City Scotsman and, of course, Alex Martin. Good morning.
Hi, Alex. I already said hi to
well,
Scotsman.
now here's the thing, and I don't know if Merck wants to go into any of this, but I mean, his woman literally has been attacked, and they've been posting nudes of her, which are not her nudes.
Yep, not at all. But it's hilarious because every time they're like, look at the evidence, and it's like, you're a moron.
They're like, well, there's this one spot here, there's this one mole, and this proves it. And okay, you got her that she does cosplay. Yeah, that's her. We understand that that's her. But if you're just showing me a set of titties and a tummy, then that's just not enough proof.
I've seen him IRL, not the same woman.
Yeah, I mean, if there's someone who has insider knowledge, which would be you, it'd be like, no, I mean, okay, those are nice, but I like the ones that I'm seeing IRL, so try again. And I mean, they on Kiwi Farms, and I don't want to go too deep in this because it's a lot of bullshit. I mean, they're rolling hard on her still.
Oh yeah, they're going to. People for no reason hate her, and I there's so much I could say, but so much I can't give away. So let's just say that situations are being dealt with, and they're being handled in a timely and professional manner. And
Well, yeah, because I mean, there are a ton of little dickhead spurgs, and that really, me too. Metaphors, that shit drives me insane because uh, there was no real reason for them to do it. It's they thought they found weakness because the one time that she cried because they doxed her out at her job, and that essentially kind of ended her
we
her
may have
employment
found
there.
the individual responsible for that as well.
Oh,
Oh yes. Um, Again, I can't give too much away. Um,
no, there's this thing called plausible deniability.
exactly. Yeah, true. Yes. Well, we may or may not have found the individual responsible for all of that, and that's going to put a lot of bad blood behind her. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's time for them to find a new target, and now that Tonk and Andy are going at each other,
You know,
hopefully,
the
hopefully,
individual.
no, they'll find that a fresher target.
You see, that's the thing. We also know his target list as well, and it's not looking good. So we've also put out several warnings to the individuals who who he may be going after next. So
Yeah,
um,
I don't know. No, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if there was ever a targeted attack, but I get once a month somebody from some other circle because I travel in a lot of different circles. Just because if there's a couple people that I like, even if they hang around with the wrong crowd, it doesn't mean I don't like to have conversations with them. And invariably, once a month, somebody will go, "Hey, somebody, such and such has got your docs." I'm like, "Yeah, so." I mean, I got a webcam. If I wanted to turn it on right now, boom, I would dox myself. I don't give a shit. I like the Doc Griffin avatar. I like the character so much so that my Halloween costume is a replica Doc Griffin costume.
oh no shit! You
Yeah.
should come up here and chill with us then.
If I could make it long distances, I would certainly consider it. But yeah, I mean, people keep coming to me, and I was like, well, why the fuck did they want to dox me? Oh, well, this and that, and especially back when the whole Suspiria swatting doxing thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they they wanted to come after me so bad because uh, uh, it's very rare where you get the opportunity to troll a whole fucking community, but I did it, and I got away with it.
Uh,
And that pissed them off to no extent. And so they were slings and arrows, they were coming. And I'm like, fuck it. If you want to put my shit out there, then you'll find out, and everybody else will find out that everything that I've been saying are just not stories. And here's the evidence. You guys are going to eventually find out. The books that I've written, the articles that I've published, what magazines that I published under, all this shit. Go ahead and do it. It's not going to be detrimental to my career anymore because I don't really have one anymore. You
Hey,
cannot
Alex.
hurt me more than life has already done.
You gotta
So
love that retirement, even if it is kind of medical.
Alex, you don't worry. I'm going to also insist that Doc share pictures, and and uh and yeah, like I'm really excited for his costume.
Oh, you got? Hey, did you get your new balls?
I always have my balls.
Not those ones, Doc.
Not those ones.
Well, no, I got the last one that I had been waiting for a while was a crinoid fossil Jasper sphere, and that came in a while back. if you're buying from Asia, it's 3 to 6 weeks, depending. And actually, it got here in about 4 or so,
Yeah.
and it was like $5, and that was something that actually made me happy at that juncture. And so, I have no regrets about it. Although, I'm probably gonna have to sell a kidney or something so we can make rent, but. It's funny because when the spheres come in, I'll put one right next to my mouse pad, and when I'm not using the mouse pad, I'll sit there and just do like a solo Benoit ball on it, and because the doctor, they gave me the putty and they gave me the squeezy ball and all that shit, but
Yeah.
I think it's a whole hell of a lot cooler if I'm sitting here doing my squeezy exercises with something that came from the earth.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit hippie. I'm a little bit earther, but I never tie myself to a fucking tree or anything.
Well, I might, depending on the situation, and it wouldn't be me tying myself to the tree. Not necessarily, like, not in my preferred scenario. I'm just saying, um, I wouldn't mind being tied to a tree, or at least, my wrists being tied, above my head to the lowest branch of a tree kind of thing.
You're not
Uh,
you're not a dendrophiliac, are you?
with a long enough rope. I'm not a dendrophiliac, but I'm saying I have zero qualms with getting plowed against a tree as I'm tied to it. Like, I'm just saying, like, that would be, it's not dendrophilia. That just means fuck me in nature. Like,
Oh, Lord.
I don't know. There can be some problems with that.
Splinters.
No, three things I can think of right off the bat: poison ivy, poison oak, and sumac.
Oh God, we got all three up here.
I have previously, um, uh, uh, Michael, I have previously shown my balls on Twitter.
oh yeah, he has. They're shiny.
Yes,
He
I
keeps
play
them
with
well
them on a daily
polished.
basis, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's healthy. It's natural.
It is. It's totally okay. He likes to keep his balls all natural.
I will
Okay.
return shortly. I'm going to grab some water.
Okay.
No worries.
And I don't know. Should I show the headgear for the doc costume?
Well, let's see. We got less than a week left now before the day, and it's supposed to be a fun. Oh, with your new camera and for your next interview, you think you got the mask ready so you could talk through it?
No, I have not gotten the hole sewn yet.
Okay, well, once I would say once you do, hopefully you get that by the interview, because I think it would be really badass to have your mask on during the interview.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know how long I could last in that fucking thing. It's a it's a Zentai mask, so it's all spandex.
Hey, numbskull. And what are we waiting for, Alex? You could do it for just a little bit then. Like, it could be a final reveal for, like, right at the end when it's time for the stuff shill, you know?
Well, my sister, who is well to do, I've talked to her about coming over to her house that has a big roaring fireplace,
Yeah.
and sitting in one of their easy chairs and reading one of my short stories.
Ooh.
Like I'm reading it to some kids or something.
Yep.
But I
Alex
don't know yet.
Alex is agreeing with me to just wait for the costume reveal, and especially because you do want to have the part with your mouth open, where you could talk through it. Um I think that'd be great. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and post a picture of what it looks like now. because it will have a completely different look. Well, not completely, but it will have a different look when you do put the mouth hole in.
What the hell did I just walk in on? A mouth hole for what?
For dick.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm joking. God. No, for Doc's mask. For Doc's mask, for his mask, he wants to put a hole at the mouth so that he can, like, you know, breathe and speak.
Well, and I have to do the eye holes too.
Yeah, but that will be covered by the goggles.
Yeah, because I can't see for shit with a Zentai mask and dark goggles.
I got my accidental battle axe, like I was telling you the other day.
Okay, very nice. now is it weighted enough to where you can actually throw it?
I wish. No, this is half heavy, so like sings though. It's beautiful, beautiful music.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah. So that's not balanced.
No. It's definitely for like fighting, not throwing.
Okay, I'll do this. I'll do this rather quickly. There's a quick shot of it.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. I love the fact that he's wearing a Pikachu shirt in that picture.
Oh, wait, you caught that, huh?
Oh, of course I did. I'm a fucking Pokemon nerd. Team Instinct right now. I'm just letting you know.
Get out.
Fuck you.
Valor for life.
Of course you're Valor.
I'm whatever the blue one is because I started playing with my stepdaughter.
Well, it was nice talking to you, Doc. I gotta go. You know.
See, at least instincts are generally accepted by either team. Like, we're the joke team, but like Valor and Mystic, they just butt heads. Thank you, Alex. And Alex, actually, it was locally forged by Merc.
Which the what? The who? Do what?
The axe, correct?
I didn't forge it. I accidentally did.
You still forged it, motherfucker.
No, I bought it on Amazon accidentally. I bought it on Amazon accidentally. I was on my phone and I accidentally clicked purchase with one click, and I'm like, oh shit, no. And then I looked at the price tag and I'm like, fuck it.
Close enough. He accidentally ordered it, so it was locally forged, wherever the local forge for creating such things is located, and
Taiwan.
Yeah, and by the way, Merc, the right kind of balance. You always need the correct kind of balance for whether it just be like straight up hacking or hitting shit or throwing. You just need different types of balances.
Yep.
And I'm only aware of this because I love playing with swords.
Oh, I've got my
innuendo intended.
I have my fair collection of bladed weapons as well.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I've got the firearms, but there's quite more that goes on than just guns with me.
I only have like 2 swords and a zombie Bowie.
Ooh.
See, it sucks. It's got a fucking green plastic handle to it.
Oh.
And you know, but it's basically a Rambo knife. But they put a green handle on it and it says like zombie on the blade.
Who made it?
I didn't give a shit. It was like $10.
Oh. Yeah, do yourself a good K-bar, man. You're going to spend about I spent 88 on mine, but I had it custom engraved and everything before I went into the Army. But you know, I'd love my K-bar. It's probably the most utilitarian knife I own.
Oh, I'd be good with a K-bar because my first the thing that I don't know if people will get the intention of this, but my favorite tool to have around is either my Leatherman's tool or my 6-in-1.
Oh, Leatherman makes good tools. Where's mine? It should be somewhere on the desk here. I have a Leatherman skeleton tool. What's the matter with it? It's pretty decent. It's very, very very minimalistic. It's just got pliers, screwdriver, and a knife, and carabiner with bottle opener. But that's all it is. Very bare bones, very minimalistic. But I do have a Leatherman Wave and other, I got tons of multi tools.
No, I don't know. I don't know what mine is. I got it about 20 years ago, and it's got the screwdrivers. It's got the can opener deal on it. It's got a file. The pliers and the knife, of course, but yeah,
I know it's hardcore. It's hardcore when you get the eyelet for fishing line. That's the good stuff right there.
Yeah, mine's got an eyelet on it.
Good.
And on one side it also has the measuring tool, but literally if you're out in the forest, you really don't give a shit if you find a stick that's 2 or 3 inches long.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of useless to have the measuring thing on there.
Well, for sundials, kind of.
See, I have what it's like a huntsman knife, except it's versatile. It's this giant fucking blade with one end sawed, like the sawing end on the back of it, and then it has a screw in the handle, so you can open that up, and inside is like some fishing line, and I put weatherproof matches in there too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's kind of like a Rambo knife, but the thing that always busts my balls, they always have these little itty bitty kits. Here's your survival kit, and it's got your fishing line, and it's got batting in it to help start fires and all that shit. Well, you know what? Once you get it out of that hole, all that shit is not going back in that hole.
You're right. It's not.
Oh, I pulled the shit that's in. I pulled the shit that's in my hole out just fine and been able to put it back in with 0 qualms. Innuendo intended.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said that with a little bit too much passion.
Intended innuendo.
Innuendo?
Innuendo. It's like a gaming console. Holy shit. And then I'm gonna go because I used to have a Smith and Wesson blade. I miss that thing so bad, but it got stolen. Not too surprised there.
Yeah, only thing I have left from Smith and Wesson is their set of their handcuffs. And
now those are quality cuffs.
Those are badass cuffs. A buddy of mine who worked on the sheriff's department came up to me one night. He's like, "Hey, guess what we got in?" And I'm like, "What?" And he slaps them on me. I'm like, nice. "You dick." And he's like, "If you can get out of them, they're yours." And I could not get out of the fucking things. And then at the very end of the night, he gave me the key, and I unlocked, and I'm like, I'm keeping these fuckers. And he was like, "Hey, it was worth it for the entertainment."
You know what though? Technically, even after he gave you the key, you did get out of them.
Yeah, there you go.
You just required the key for it. Now I'm gonna show y'all right now. I'm about to show y'all my favorite fucking blade.
Oh, girl.
That I have because it's so goddamn pretty. And it is sharp as fuck.
That was a Christmas tree.
It's not a Christmas tree. It's just my chandelier that I decorated with Christmas lights. But yeah, this thing is fucking beautiful. It's sharp as fuck, and I love it so hard.
Is it it a tactical folder?
The release is right there. So it's dumb because with how sharp it is, it would be easy for me to cut my thumb off, in all honesty.
My current one I'm running with my kit, unfortunately, like you were talking about how you had one of your knives stolen. I did have my K-bar stolen from me, and that was quite a loss since I had been attached to it for so long. It saw me through some pretty rough shit.
Now, was this your military issue?
No, it wasn't. No, they don't issue K-bars anymore. Maybe in the Marine Corps, but not in the Army.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
But right now, what I run is a Mark III trench knife. It's pretty decent. Nice leather washer handle. It's an all right replacement for it's an all right replacement for the K-bar, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? I mean, this is Ontario Knife Company. Ontario makes some pretty decent stuff, or at least they did. I'm getting reports that the stuff that's new is coming in from China. It says made in the U.S. on it, but I don't know if I can trust that.
Or like the Pakistani blades that you always find with swords, and they're like, well, they're ceremonial swords. Well, they're pieces of shit too.
Yeah.
Because Pakistani steel, they're like, oh, it's stainless steel. Well, stainless steel doesn't rust.
Do you guys want to see my love and kindness?
I'm scared now.
Okay. I'm frightened.
Oh, you should be. Once I have the money, I'm getting these bitches engraved with love and kindness on them. Because they're the twins.
What's the length on those blades?
Let's see. Just shorter than my like longer than my forearm, but shorter than like forearm and hand.
Huh.
For anything that requires distance longer than a knife, I just generally go with handgun.
No, see, this is just it's because it's love and kindness. And so, like, with some of my worst enemies, I just say I will kill them with love and kindness.
Okay, well, let's see if I can do this properly. Yeah, I think I can get away with this. Hold on, let's see.
Bum bum bum.
So that looks like an AK bayonet.
Yeah, it's that freaking zombie knife. Yeah, it's technically but yeah, there's the end that unscrews. But a fucking green plastic handle. If I ever put this into anything, I would get it fuckered up in a heartbeat.
That is an M10 bayonet without the bayonet lug on it. That's got the loop, but not the thing.
Yeah,
kitty,
it's still
kitty, kitty.
So this is good. This is good for whittling. That's all I use it for is whittling.
Yeah.
And see, they give me, the itty bitty little whetstone here. Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah, but anybody's ever tried to actually sharpen a knife by using a whetstone like that. No, you're going to be there for days, and by the time you get it sharp, they have found you and killed you.
Right. I'm already out of water. That's all right though.
Yeah, I was trying to teach. I was trying to teach my stepdaughter how to sharpen knives, and she's like, "Yeah, I've got a whetstone coming," and I'm like, "A whetstone? You might want to get two." And then I started explaining to her the grains. I mean, if you're going to get a mid range, yeah, but there's no way in hell once you start sharpening a knife, you are going to mark it for yourself for its whole life.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to be as sleek and smooth and all that shit again. It'll be sharp, but yeah, you're not going to have the same finish.
This is weird. Every single time I log into Discord, it automatically connects me to a voice chat channel for no reason whatsoever.
Huh. You should check your settings because that's really odd.
Well, it might just be lonely. Needing somebody to talk to. Oh, by the way, John, this is something I think that you would like. And let's see here.
Is it hard and oh, that's cool.
Is? Okay.
Yeah.
Turn it around to the back. It's a little bitty build-your-own Stonehenge.
Oh, I gotta see this.
It's only $7.
Because I'll never get the bitch back in. But yeah, it's a build your own Stonehenge. I had one set up, but for some reason I don't know why this was up in the cabinet, but it's there. I should actually start giving out prizes so I can dox myself even easier. But yeah, there's a lot of goofy shit up here. Eyeglass cleaners, clay sculpting tools, a shitload of syringes, and yeah, I gotta show this. A buddy of mine wanted me to get well, and he's like, "Well, you can't draw anymore, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm trying to work back to it." So instead, he gave me this.
Oh, that's awesome!
It is a paint your own Bob Ross Funko.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, I got some good or at least crafty friends. So they well, here's my thing. I don't necessarily celebrate birthdays unless, we're going out drinking. Then yeah, I'll buy you shots, I'll get you faced, I'll make sure you get home. But and I don't really necessarily celebrate holidays because the holidays for a lot of people are just depressing, and especially things like Christmas, it gets lost in translation because people are more obsessed of, am I going to buy the right thing, blah blah blah,
Yep,
and I have only this time frame to give it to them. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. Wait a minute.
Well, you up for Friendsgiving?
Here, wait. There we go. I wanted to feature Kadant there.
Yeah.
She's showing off stuff.
Yeah, well, you showed your Funko Pop, and I was showing off. I figured I'd show off the only one that I have. These were gifts from somebody who had a loot crate. It's a Deadpool and a Harley, but that right there, that's my Funko.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my Vegeta. And then this
showing your Vegeta happening off to the world, girl.
Hell yeah. That's another blade I have because I have an issue. I have problems. And my problem is I like hard things that can penetrate.
Somebody's wound up. Didn't you have a not safe for work stream recently?
That was a whole day ago, Doc.
Oh, what did you do now?
What didn't I do?
I only got to listen to a little piece of it because I was running around like a madman.
No, yeah, you had a long day that day, sir.
Yeah, things got fuckered up really quick.
Dude.
Oh, but so people basically, I'm like the Spanish Inquisition when it comes to gift giving. People don't know when to expect it to happen. I will see something, and I used to be a hell of a clearance shopper. So I would see something that reminded me of somebody, and I would buy it, and then I would go find them, and I would give it to them. That's how I attack. Cat, what the fuck are you doing?
Wiping my blade.
Quit it.
No.
I get the squirt bottle out.
God damn it, no.
You don't like the squirt bottle. I know you don't like it.
No, I don't.
Internal monologue.
So yeah, I've gotten used to doing that. Also, I do have, and I don't know why I have them. Well, I know why I have them because they were at such a ridiculously low price. I've got what are they called? Akoi pearls. Technically, they're the oysters that have the pearls inside them, but you don't know what color they are. They're going to end up. Yeah, they're going to end up being like one of 4 colors.
Oh yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah, I've got some of those. They're just sitting around. I just have them. But I always rationalize that the reason why I have these things is because somebody's going to come along and that's going to be the perfect thing for them, or something that's going to give them the ability to smile.
I'm reading some ridiculous articles. I don't.
Because really, there are too many goddamn people in the world focused on frowning.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, turn off this stuff.
Okay, well, Merc, here is my guess for the side chat.
Nope.
Negative.
Close, but no cigar.
The only other one I can think of is that's the only other one I can think of.
Let's fill me in a little bit later.
Okay.
But the people I named up above there, we have actually been in contact with, and we are working on it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, you cannot. The South African douche monkey is a very difficult beast to take down. They are all fucking idiots. And it would be nice, like Joker always says, you go fuck off over there, and then when you get there, fuck off some more, and we'll fuck off over here.
Just fuck in the general direction of off. Well, what do we have today? I am. I'm trying to figure out if I can pre-order and pre-buy. What's it called? Fallout 76.
Oh, you should be able to.
Oh, she is going to enjoy streaming the shit out of this. I got to get her computer set up. She's supposed to. What the hell?
No, wait, that's some cool shit. Let me throw that up. This is the link to Metaphor's Twitter, and he put up some of the glass works that he's done.
Ooh.
And let's say a very good morning to Furry and Finley. And have a wrench, Sunless Sentinel. Yeah, I'm just going through these. Oh, those are kind of nice. I can't imagine how difficult it is to shape a sphere from glass. I mean, I went tripping to a class that was making round things, but I mean, well, number one, it's going to take a lack of hallucinogens to actually do it. But I was willing to handle that fucking white hot glass with my bare hands because it looked cool.
Oh man, I was going all around West Virginia with Aiden, and we're filming for a micro documentary on the history of West Virginia, and we found out some really interesting facts about glass blowing and the industry. It's just absolutely incredible. Back in the 1950s, post-prohibition, over 50% of all glassware actually came out of the state of West Virginia.
Weren't they big in milk glass too?
No, they were all. No. They made their own glass from all the silica that was around the area. It was actually the purest silica they could in the world, and they discovered it by accident when they were blasting sandstone up from the river to create one of the largest sandstone buildings in the world, the second largest outside the Kremlin. It's the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Oh, okay.
It's quite incredible. Like everything, a lot of the stuff is discovered on accident.
Well, all the cool shit is.
Oh yeah.
Except for sex.
No, that's awesome on purpose.
Well, I couldn't imagine how they'd find it on accident.
No, that wasn't on accident. That was on instinct.
Hey, Alex, thanks for joining us tonight. Do have a very good morning. Hopefully a nice
Later,
sleep.
Alec.
All right. Fallout 76 is not. It doesn't appear to be pre-orderable on the Steam store. Do I need to have like a Bethesda account or something?
Maybe. Have you tried? I know this is gonna forgive me, but have you checked GameStop online? I know. I know. That's why I asked for forgiveness. I used to work at a GameStop. So trust me, I know. But I also know that their big thing is pre-order sales.
Well, let's see here.
Yeah, it's on
GameStop has it for $60. They've got something called Fallout 76 Tricentennial at Best Buy for $80. And then there's the official Platinum Edition you can pre-order from Barnes & Noble for just $114.99.
$114.99.
Walmart and Target should have it too, but that I think is just like a hard copy of the game. I don't know if they'd have like the computer, like online copy.
Well, hell, I don't even run a CD drive in this thing. It's brand new. Has anybody seen my computer? Dear God, this thing is a monstrosity.
We saw a backlight of it once.
Oh yeah.
Well, the sequence is too damn long, but yeah, it's on Amazon right now. The same 1776 edition, or yeah, for $80. And then it's 60. Yeah, if you put in Fallout 76 pre-order on Amazon, it'll pull them all up.
All right, yeah, I'll go take a look at Amazon then.
And you can get the Power Armor Edition. What the fuck is that? Let's see here. Well, okay, if you're going to charge that much for it. Oh, you guys are assholes. Really? Seriously? Oh, here we go. No, fuck. Okay, that's why they're charging for it. Okay, here's the pimping. The Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition includes full-scale wearable T-51 Power Armor helmet with West Tech canvas carrying bag. This wearable helmet faithfully replicates the in-game model and comes complete with a voice modulator speaker, functioning LED headlamp, and custom VATS sound feature. The next thing is it's a glow-in-the-dark world terrain map. This physical, fully colorized 21-inch by 21-inch glow-in-the-dark vintage map showcases the 6 distinct regions of West Virginia, complete with irradiated landmarks, towns, and wildlife. But that's not all. 24 collectible Fallout figurines crafted from in-game 3D models. These detailed miniatures bring Fallout 76's vault dwellers, power armored soldiers, creatures, and more to life. But if you think that's it, there's also the Tricentennial Steelbook. Exclusive to the Power Armor Edition, this decorated metal case is the ultimate collectible celebrating America's 300 years of freedom. And last but never least, the Fallout 76 Tricentennial Edition bonus in-game items. Celebrate 300 years of freedom with the all-new Fallout 76 Tricentennial Edition, commemorating the opening of Vault 76. Be the talk of the town when you emerge from Vault 76 fully prepared and patriotically styled in the new American frontier.
Man, oh man. You know, I'm looking at this too. It's all sold out. You can't get it on PC, the Power Armor Edition. I'd probably go for that. I pre-ordered like the when Fallout 3 first came out. I've always been a huge Fallout fan. I got the whatever edition it was that came with the lunchbox, the bobblehead, the lore book, all that fun stuff. That was fun. I actually still have my bobblehead somewhere around here, probably. Actually, no, I think it's down on my bookshelf downstairs in the study. It's
well, I think the last gimmick I got was the special edition for Office Space, because you got a red swingline stapler with the purchase.
Of course. Oh man, yeah, this is I can't wait to get in on it. That's the whole reason we did this tour of West Virginia. We went through and we got footage of like drone footage of like we didn't just do it for Fallout 4. We did it for like West Virginia history and industry, and why West Virginia voted for Trump. But we could frame it in the way of like the waypoints in Fallout 76. I went to what was it called? We went everywhere. We went everyone. The Flatwoods Monster. That's one of the new. It's one of the new enemies in the game. It's pretty cool. We went to the actual town of Flatwoods, and they have a Flatwoods Monster Museum. And a lot of merch, but not much really going on in the town of Flatwoods. It's actually kind of a small town. It's. I remember it was raining when we got in there. It was a lot of cobblestone roads and everything.
Well, they did say that they did IRL models.
Well, we'll see about that. I mean, I know for a fact the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is going to be in the game, and it's was it Kirkbride building? What the hell was that? Let me actually look this up, because it was quite interesting looking at the architecture of the building. A lot of natural light, a lot of wide open spaces. It's not like a place where they just lock people up. It's a place for healing.
My cat is staring at me, laying on the floor with a booger in her nose. That every time she breathes, it just keeps going in and out.
Yes, the Kirkbride plan. If you could, oh boy, let's see. Yeah, if you want to, I'm not actually on the thingamajig. If you want to drop this link in chat, it'll show people how the Trenton State Hospital and several other places were built. This is the Kirkbride design, and this is how the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum was built. Let's see. Actually, let's take a look. It was built in 1863 in Weston. Formerly known as the Weston State Hospital.
Yeah, some of my stories. Aha, I got you. Give me that booger. Get that out of your nose. Okay.
Get him, Doc. Get him.
Yeah. Okay. I freaked you out. Here, come here. You get pets. You get pets for that. I couldn't stand the booger though. It had to go. You may have a special relationship with your snot. I do not.
Holy fuck,
yeah, I think it was all a plan, because now she's just up here purgling, getting belly scratches, and now she's kneading the scruff that is on my chin. You probably can't hear her.
You kind of hear it.
Permalicious. Now go away. I love you. Get away from me, booger cat. No, cats aren't satanic. They're not essentially smart, but they are selfish. It's, what are you doing for me today? And what are you doing for me today 10 minutes from now?
Is my food bowl half empty? Well, it's empty now.
Oh yeah, they found, we've got this cat food, right, that has like 4 different colors and 4 different shapes, and they will eat all of the red ones out of the bowl before they eat anything else. And then they'll look at me like, there's no more red in here, we need more red. And I'm like, if I could buy a bag that was just red, you fuckers would be tired of it in 10 minutes. So no, you eat the bowl down to at least halfway before I fill it back up again.
See, with my cats, my big problem is they don't really care for cat food, but they love dog food. And I'm just like, you little fucks. Like, fuck you. And then my dog, um, she's kind of like your cat, where uh she prefers cat food. Not shocking. But on top of that, she will pick out individual pieces of the cat food until she finds the one she wants. And so, like, half the time I'm sweeping up at least half of the fucking bowl up off the floor because she'll have picked out the pieces that she doesn't want and dropped them on the fucking floor. And I'm just like, you fucking bitch.
Oh yeah, I thought I was down to 150 pounds. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I weighed myself 4 days ago and I weighed 170. And I step on it and I'm like weighing like 151 and change. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was the fact that they had knocked so much cat food underneath the scale that it didn't weigh right.
Doc, you want to do me a favor and boot my other account? I don't know what's going on with this, but
it should drop off.
Yeah. But
that's
hello,
weird.
Summer Sentinel.
Wow.
And
I don't know. Oh my God, it's the Star Trek dilemma. I don't know which one to boot.
The one with the camera. Or no, not the one with the camera. The one without the camera. I'm the real me. I don't know what's going on. I tried to sign into my Gmail so I could send an email. But there you go. Perfect.
It dropped out.
Oh, goody.
Ghost City Fright Supremacist. Yeah, no, that's why I have zero qualms with just buying cat food for my dog. The only thing I have to be, and I'm glad she's picky, because the one thing you have to be careful about when it comes to cat food versus dog food is cat food usually has like a slightly higher fat content mixed into it, which is fine for cats, which is why cats do better with cat food than they do dog food, because it has that extra fat that cats require. But if your dog, like, I have a small dog, so if she eats too much of just the cat food, she can easily get pancreatitis. So, like, I have to remind, especially my motherfucking, like, 1,000-year-old ching chong motherfucking grandmother on my mom's side. I have to remind her, like, don't feed the dog people food. Don't do that. That's bad for the dog. She could die. So please stop. And she's just like, oh no, she's not a good dog. And I'm like, yeah, no, she's a good dog. Don't kill her. Like, I don't care if you're trying to fatten her up and shit like that. Like, so am I, because I'm preparing for the incoming apocalypse that is bound to happen at some point. Or B, I'm preparing for when my ching chong roots kick in, and I'm like, oh, time to cook dog,
Wait. Have you had this urge previously?
Doc, have you ever heard me yell at my dog or my cats?
No. Yelling and actually wanting to stir fry are two different things.
No. All right, I wouldn't stir fry her. I would just I would make this dish. Have you ever heard of the dish called bok nomo?
No, because I really don't like Asian food.
Well, it's really simple. Usually it's on a grill. I think charcoal is better. Just because, like, it gives it that little extra smoky flavor and all that jazz. But you make sure you heat up your grill, and then you get your dog, put him on the grill, and your dog bok no mo.
Oh, Jesus, that was a long setup.
That was good, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I'm super racist.
Gotta boot this guy off of here. I don't want him on my Steam profile.
Shame for display.
Shame for display. I know. I do that often.
Well,
I mean, why not? Like the best thing about me playing up like that stereotype is the fact that most people are very aware that it's not true.
oh, I didn't say hi to Tom of Gulf City.
Freaking
Good morning.
men are the only people that have this kind of problem. You ever get extremely long, ridiculous nose hairs and they just freaking. Ah.
Hi, Tom.
Oh yeah. I've got one of those little nose hair shaver tools, but let's just be honest. The only real way to take care of them, if you can't hit it with a razor, is just to grab a hold of those suckers and rip them out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're gonna cry.
Yeah, earn it. You know.
Yeah. I figure you just burn them out with a torch.
That could work too.
Yeah, but if you have a mustache like me, well, I'm working on it again. Getting my beard back. I decided to shave it off after MythCon. It was fun.
So wait, did you guys went to MythCon?
Oh yeah, dude. Sargon actually put up a video of me shooting the 50 cal with him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not see. Well, see, after he kind of put the kibosh on This Week in Stupid, I pretty much lost interest. That was the only time I'd ever tune into Sargon because, it's kind of like British mundane Matt, but he actually had some interesting stuff to talk about.
Sarge is a good guy. I like him. I talk to him every now and then, but
Oh, I don't have anything against him. I have never talked to him. To be honest with you, I don't think I'd ever have him on my show because of the fact that I think he would immediately go into politics, and the mantra of the show is, no politics, no religion, no BS.
Yeah.
So I think he would fail in two of those three categories.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. We did chat a lot about because I had him in the car ride out to the range, and we're chatting about home life, family, stuff like that. Interesting stuff, like the real interesting stuff. Like people are always on about like who talks to who and why, and everybody always wants to know what's your associations and what are you up to, what are your plans, why is everybody doing all this stuff. It's like, let me tell you something. None of this internet shit even matters, man. None of it.
Yeah, it's the you go cabal over there, and I'll go not cabal over here.
Right. Oh my god. I don't know how people do it. Like, it's how is your life just so hyper focused on this whole these are my people and screw those other people and if you talk to this person then you're an asshole. You should talk to me only. And it's like, it's not how the real world works, guys.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I still talk to Anal Vape.
See, I don't know much about him.
And he's one of the most loathed people on the internet. The people thought he was such a shitbag that even the anime crew kicked him out of their posse.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
He's young, he's spurgy, and he keeps doing stupid shit. And people like me and SMG, still talk to him there, and we're like, hey, stop doing stupid shit. And he keeps doing stupid shit. And it's like, okay, well, you know what? You're grounded from conversation until you stop doing stupid shit. And I think, honestly, the internet causes autism.
That would not surprise me in the least. I've become a bit more spurgy since I've had to involve myself with some people here. But on the whole, I'm still kind of holding it down here.
Oh, dude, 2 days ago, somebody wanted me to come on their show and talk about a certain person and dish. And I'm just like, you guys know where I'm at behind the scenes. I do not perpetuate this fucking bullshit. I mean, like I went through extreme measures to make sure that Justin knew that this was not going to be the let's trash AP show. And to his credit, he had no intention of doing it. But yeah, I mean, save the drama for your llama mama, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not hearing it. I get exposed to it too much. I mean, really, why do you think people like Disky Fringo backed away from the internet to get the fuck away and just not have to deal with any of the spurgery? Because there are people that will come to you like you're a CO and report in. And it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't fucking care. I mean, if they're coming after me, thanks for the heads up. But I really don't give a shit, who did what to whose goat and for how much. Don't fucking care. Let's see. People won't buy a rabbit if it is already butchered because cat and rabbit carcasses look very similar.
That is kind of true. In my experience,
yeah.
at least. But
yeah, but I think you'd be able to tell because of the musculature more so in the back legs, because all the rabbits I've ever had have been incredibly thick in the back legs.
My one of my exes, right? I had been dating her for like a year and a half, and she had these two rabbits, and one of them unfortunately passed away while I was with her. And we took the rabbit to the vet and had to have him euthanized, or her rather, had to have her euthanized. But
you euthanize your girlfriend?
It was a peaceful sunset. No, actually, it's a funny story. It's a funny story, actually. She broke up with me because she found out the people that I follow on YouTube, and this is before I met, my woman, and a lot of these other people who I associate with now. She found out that I was a fan of Sargon, and she's like, "Well, I don't want, you're a bit closer to the alt-right than you say you are." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Well, you follow Sargon," and I'm like, "Why? Why?" That was like, then from then on, like, I feel like she was kind of like disenchanted with the whole relationship. I mean, it wasn't going to go anywhere. She's kind of like a bit of a rad femme, so no kids, no marriage. Ugh. I still talk to her. She's still a good friend. It's just, I don't know what I was doing.
See, that's the thing. When people try to force your opinion, and also if they've got misconceptions, and Justin and I talked about this tonight. If there's somebody that's on YouTube that you don't like, why are you wasting so much energy hating on them when it's just as easy to click that little red button at the top and find something else to watch?
Exactly. My God. I mean, it's the whole dynamic between us had been kind of iffy for a while, and I feel like she was kind of looking for a way out. Like her friends didn't like me, and I had no problem with her friends. It's just, here I am, Mr. Guy who runs out in the woods every month with guns and does all this training and crap for, oh, I've got a very long story, very tiring story.
Basically, preparedness.
Yeah, I'm a militia member. That's what I do. Well, it's been a while since I've actually been active in it, but I was actually one of the better known militia people. So, it's a long story. It's still ongoing.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, there's too many people who have the stigma that people who do the militia thing are nuts. And if you go back to, like, I don't know, let's say the 1700s, the 1800s, the militia was a vital part.
Let me read you something real quick. Actually, let me pull this up. You're gonna like this, because this will let people understand a little bit more about how I view it. Was it title? No. USC 10 title. Title 10 subsection 311.
Did the men make you sleepy again?
No. I'm going through old Facebook memories, and and one of them was a writing exercise that I had done which I refused to do again because I'd gotten comment after comment after comment after comment after comment because it was a simple exercise where it's comment and I'll reply with how I'd introduce you in a novel. And
Okay, so how would you introduce me?
God damn it, no, Doc, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to. I don't need the writing exercise, but I'm reading through the ones that I did do and and I'm happy where I'm at with my writing, but I also miss being able to write in some of the ways that I wrote some of these. And mind you, like certain people it was far easier. Like I just took a screenshot of the one that I did specifically for Muffin. And I'm going to hopefully get her to start crying at the memory because I'd done this and she was just like, "Oh my God, I love it so much." And I'm like, "Well, of course, like this is how I see you. Like this is who you are to me. You know,
Wait,
you're my kindred. Like you're I can't use the word best friend to describe her because it's so underwhelming in like if I were a lesbian, I would have married her by now. Like that's that's a thing. Like she's my kindred spirit. Like we're both similar and different. And we balance each other out just well enough. Um it yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna be posting that on the Twitters later and hopefully I can get her to cry again. Like
well, you're one hell of a friend.
I want to make her heart soar and break like at the same time, you know?
Well, she did make me smile today.
Oh, with her doc tote.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was so happy. She you like I was talking with her about it today because I wound up getting to talk with her for a bit on the phone and she's like, "Did you see what I finally got?" And I'm like, your dog tote." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. And look at it. And like, it's so awesome. And like, I can't wait for like, like I can't wait to just start walking around with it. And like, when people see it, like, I can go ahead and be like, hey, do you listen to streams? Do you or podcasts or anything like that? Because you should totally listen to this guy because he's awesome." And I'm just like, fuck yeah, he is.
Oh, that just made me smile. And now here's the funny thing: the artist, I had shown the design because she did the chibi head for me, and she came back uh, literally like a day after, and well, it'd been up on the site for like a week or two, and she came and a day after Muffin ordered it, she asked me to take it down. So she's got the only one.
Whoop. So it's even better because it's a unique, you know,
It is legitimately a one of a kind.
awesome.
So, but yeah, that that gave me a smile when I needed one because she seemed a bit happy.
I'm researching my own files. Lol. Oh, I forgot like half the shit that's on here. It's ridiculous. I'm looking for old pictures that I have of some of my malicious stuff. Oh, that's right. Yes. Huh. Oh, I'll find it eventually. I got some fun old pictures that I'm looking through.
See
As
now my family was never organized. They would just go into the woods and shoot shit. There there was no militia around. unless it was a moonshine militia. That's pretty much it with them.
Oh no, no alcohol allowed. No, 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 no. That's a bad one. That's a bad thing.
Oh no, not without alcohol with my family.
Negative. No, that'd be lots of trouble for us. There's been some incidents in the past from other units that. Okay.
Woman killed by laughter. News at 11.
I'm not wearing
I just found the one that I'd done for Brockus. I'm a cunt. Well, okay, so I would do one joking one and one serious one. But the joking one that I did for him was take a gay man, add in a dash of denial, mixed with some attempts to be a Viking, and then make him even gayer.
Oh,
That's
God.
Brockus.
Jesus. I just found an old picture that I was interviewing with Tel Aviv. It was Tel Aviv 10. It was a Israeli media organization, and boy, I've done so much media. It's ridiculous, and they're not very flattering, to say the least. I hate dealing with the media. I don't think I'm ever going to do another media engagement, to be honest. Yeah.
Well,
I was on Comedy Central for a brief stint too. That was,
what was that all about?
Oh, we're the most optics friendly militia probably in America, and the media just comes out and talks to us constantly.
Okay.
It's never flattering either. It's just a bunch of narrative crafting. So
Yeah, if Comedy Central came to do an interview with me, I'd be like, no.
well, Comedy Central, they actually did a pretty decent job. They showed us in a very positive light. Are you familiar with the whole Muslims in Dearborn conspiracy?
Oh yeah,
Sharia law in Dearborn. It's so funny because we get constant calls about, well, what are you gonna do about the Muslims? What are you gonna do about Sharia law in Dearborn? It's like, dude, there's a ham sandwich shop down the road in Dearborn. I don't know if you've had it. It's delicious. So they interviewed us at this ham store, and we're talking about, there's no Sharia law. I don't know what the hell people are talking about. You people are crazy. Stop calling us. Thank you. Have a nice day. That was essentially
go with God.
Yeah, that was essentially the bit that we did.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there are going to be faiths and religions and people from the same country that cluster. I mean, for God's sake, look at New York at turn of the century. I mean, it was almost like, oh, okay, you're Irish, you have to live over here. You're Italian, you have to live over here.
Oh yeah, it's a whole thing about. There's a good beast mode picture of me too. But anyway, there's a whole. It's funny because she gets in these debates. My woman gets in these debates with these people about pan-Europeanism, and it's like, you do realize that we were segregated by nationality not too long ago, right? It never happened. There's a romanticized period. The whole thing never really happened, where there was one unified white race. It's psychotic. I don't get it. I don't get these people.
They don't need to make sense. They just need to have purpose to hate.
Exactly, and I don't get it. I don't get the idea of people hating people for no other reason than whatever. If there's a person who's a decent person, even though they follow a faith or they're of a race that you don't like, why don't you give them a shot?
Well, I mean, I'm not. I guess I'd have to say that I'm a nationalist. I'm not a race person because I don't believe in it. It just my grandmother was pure blood Blackfoot and Shoshone, so yeah, I'm a mud person at this point.
Right. I've actually kind of had to explain my political backgrounds and leanings to people, and to them that sounds all ooh spoopy. I tell them that I am a constitutional ethnocentrist civic nationalist, and when they hear the word ethnocentrist, they think, "Oh shit, you're a white supremacist." No, no, ethnocentrism has absolutely nothing to do with race. It's all about culture. It's all about the United States, like the whole MAGA thing of put America first or whatever. That's essentially it. There's nothing bad about it. I personally, if you live
Every
here, you should want to. Yeah, exactly. Every other country does it. If you live here, you probably want to have your country do well, don't you?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. If you go to the World Cup, it's not like you have 20,000 fans going, "Hey, everybody, let's just all do well."
Let's cheer for the other team. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if you want to guarantee a fight, then you definitely just have to go to a World Cup tournament somewhere in Europe, and one will happen.
Oh, I found a really nice picture. I like this one. I'm the one who took it, so I'm not in it. So this we're underneath a bridge on a trail that we were doing a 10.2 mile ruck. That was pretty decent. We do all of our stuff publicly and out in the open, so nobody. We actually have a really good. We have a really good. What's the word I'm looking for? We have a good relationship with local law enforcement. We're actually more of a volunteer organization. It's not just about running and gunning and everything. It's during the Flint water crisis. That was fun. This is a little anecdote I can tell you about. The National Guard had pulled out because they were running out of supplies, and they said it'd become too risky. So what we did was we organized a water drive, and we went out there a few times and passed out water to the people affected by the Flint water crisis. So, like, that's spooky militia.
Ooh, Nazi water. We can't have any.
What the fuck is this? That's a bit okay. Nope. Oh, sorry. Thank God I'm not screen sharing.
Was it my outline that I sent you?
Yeah, it's rather impressive. Rather impressive, actually.
Well, I tried to make it in a shape kind of like a Labrador's head.
I found it. We were just talking about this the other day. Yeah, because Aiden watches cooking shows on YouTube quite frequently, and one of the recipes called for edible bamboo charcoal, and I was telling her about, it's not the stuff they put inside of the Burger King black burger for Halloween a few years back. They put a shit ton of food dye to turn it black. So it acted as a tracer. So when you take a shit, you're shitting bright fucking green.
Well,
Oh, God.
I had a dollar left over from our journey to the computer store for the adapter. And I was so sad because I didn't have enough money to afford their green monster burger. But I did get 10 nuggets for $1, so that was good. But yeah, I love trying that goofy shit. My but the most delicate way I can put this is my wife is not adventurous when it comes to food.
Oh,
She just
my God.
doesn't like to go out and try new things. I'm like, hey, there's an Ethiopian restaurant that opened up. Let's go. And
Oh, fuck, man. That sounds good.
she's like, well, what is it going to be? You're just eating dirt and sticks. And I was like, maybe.
Oh, God.
Let's go find out. And
Aiden would prefer to cook it for you. It's actually quite incredible. She'll cook you right around the freaking world, man.
well, I was taught more Briar Hillbilly, but yeah, I mean, she thinks that the extent of exotic food is like Chinese food. And it's Americanized Chinese food.
Not the good shit either. Yeah.
But then again, you normally have to find a decent Korean to get good Chinese food because they will heat you up.
Mm-hmm.
I love I love me Szechuan when it's done right, but you can't find it. It's kind of like at the end of Goodfellas where he's like I ordered spaghetti and I got noodles with ketchup on it. That we've Americanized too many cultural dishes. I think that was the coolest thing about America being the melting pot, because you could experience, food from around the world. Yeah, now I'm kind of getting hungry.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh jeez, I just ate too.
Don't remind me of food. Food sounds amazing right now. But just in case Muffin or Anti-Hero listens back to this, I did eat today. I don't need to get bitched at for not having eaten. I did eat at least once today, so I'm good.
Oh
No,
god, this is a weird
no,
thing.
are we gonna have a drop by tomorrow from Muffin?
I hope so. She would probably do it she probably would have done it tonight, but I think her long day took its toll on her. I linked her too, so if she's not in here now, or at least in the next 45 minutes, then she's not going to be in here tonight or to today, the morning for some of you people, most of you people.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of who we would invite to make a foursome here.
Well, if we're free, I mean, I don't know. We're supposed to be going back down to finish the move, so we'll figure that out. Oh, it's actually getting kind of late for me. I'm probably gonna crawl back into bed with the woman and.
Oh, you bitch.
Yeah, I
know. Come on, we only got 40 minutes left.
Nah.
Well, and Blackout hasn't eaten for 2.5 days, apparently.
I've done that plenty of times, actually, blackouts. But don't do that. You don't want to be like me.
Well, wifey fixed me French toast tonight while we were doing the show, because she gets pissed because I don't eat, and yes, I consistently lie to her about eating, and she's just going to have to deal with that. But she's like, you've lost so much weight, and I was like, oh, that's just because I have cancer.
Oh God.
Yeah, she didn't think that was funny.
God. You should be nice now.
I was like, let's get some carcinoma rocking.
All right, guys, I'm gonna take off. It was excellent chilling with you guys. Of course, go sub to Aiden Paladin, my wonderful fiance. So that's my shield for the night.
Throw the link in the chat, yo.
I'm not in the chat. I'm not even on YouTube.
Okay, fine.
All right, guys. I'll catch you later. All right.
All right. Good night, Mark. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And that was Mark. He was here for your viewing pleasure.
Yep.
And now it's just the two of us, my dear.
Oh my.
I would send Blackout a link, but I don't know. He might be a little too woozy. He hasn't eaten in 2.5 days. Cats, what are you fucking up now?
Everything.
Quit it. Usually their big spurt of energy goes between about 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just run around the house tearing up like mad ass. And then they're done. They both come in. One lays on one side of me. The other lays on the other side. Apparently they kind of like me.
Maybe just a little.
I've kind of had that weird thing with aminals. I don't know if they sense the stupidity and harmlessness nature in me, but um, yeah, I don't think they ever feel threatened. But then again, I'm not the kind of person who likes to beat aminals. Yes, go get something to eat, Blackout. Damn.
Yes.
And then if we're still on, you can hop on. I'll toss you the link in your Twitter DMs, mate. Um, well, there are some people that are kind of amped and excited about the next Doctor on Call. I am too, but I have such a hard time getting a hold of him. Um, uh, for Sean Cunningham, uh, I ended up getting his direct phone number. So, but he's a tough guy to get a hold of. I do want to talk to him about his. I mean, yeah, he did Friday the 13th. He was producer for Last House on the Left. He directed Deep Star 6. Blah 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 blah. But he just did a project. He did a documentary. I believe it is his first and only documentary. And it's called The Girl with the Purple Hair.
Oh.
And he basically goes in depth talking to this woman who is a hospice care nurse. And my sister, my Irish twin sister, that is, she has been hospice care for like 15 years. So I think this would be an interesting film for her to see too. And I'm just kind of curious about what the film's all about. They've been taking it around the festival. What? Get cat. If you fucked with her, and yeah, White Cat's just sitting there at the door going, "Yep, come back out here. I got something to show you." And Black Cat's just underneath my chair now, just looking back at her. And I go, "What are you jumping up here for? God is not going to save you. You fucked with her. Now you go get fucked up. That's the deal. Bye bye." Damn cats. And anyway, yeah, my sister being a hospice care nurse, I think that's going to be an interesting conversation that he's probably not had. But then again, I always have this trepidation that I'm going to get somebody, IRL celebrity who's only used to doing press junkets, 15, 20-minute interviews, and then they're out. I'm really sincerely hoping that, and it was just like when I was talking to Ginger Lynn, I was like, the show runs 1 to 2 hours. First hour is a one-on-one. Second hour is a Q&A. And everyone who's been on the show so far has been amazed how fast the time goes. I mean, there are some where I just have to stop it, after 2 hours because, like when Harry Manfredini was on, we could have gone for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kyle Hebert. Afterwards, Kyle Hebert was like, "Are you sure that was 2 hours?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was like 2 hours and 17 minutes or something." He's like, "That went really fast." And I'm like, "Great," because that's one of my big things for this job is to make sure you don't notice I'm the best casino in the world. You never notice that time is passing.
Time
You
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, you just keep on gambling and gambling. Tell those tales. And White Cat, what are you doing now? No,
It's
don't
being a
look
cat.
like you're not doing a goddamn thing. You're up on the top of that chair. There's no good that's going to come from this. Just don't knock shit over, you clumsy ass. All right. She gave me that. No worries, Daddy. I won't.
She's
Yeah.
lying to you.
Yeah, I'm waiting the next 10 minutes for a thud to happen. But then again, um, since we have an upstairs and a downstairs, the cats have a tendency to want to peek out in between the bars and look down and see what we're doing. Black cat likes to play with my head if I'm close enough to the bars and reach in and like try to tap me. But you know, the good payoff is that if we if we startle them, they try to pull their heads back, and their heads are caught momentarily in between the bars, and it makes me laugh, doesn't it, Kitty?
Hmm.
Oh God, she's so wound up, man. It's so funny. I feel sorry for my wife. She keeps buying them like you know, these little dollar store quote unquote cat toys. Like I'm looking at one right now that the stick, and it has um it kind of looks like a flail, but made out of little baby boas, you know, feather boas,
Yeah.
and they won't touch it. They won't play with it at all. They're just like, fuck this. And I get them like a ball that has a bell in it, and they'll play with that until they lose it underneath a piece of furniture. I'm like, it's the simple toys, or get a fucking laser pointer. Cats are retarded for laser pointers.
Oh yeah, they are laser pointers and what's it? One of my cats he absolutely loves plastic.
Well,
Like
oh, okay. Well,
it huh?
how so?
Like he'll play with it as if like he's playing with something he's hunted and then lick it. But he
Well,
doesn't eat it. He just likes licking it and playing with it. And my other cat loves everything.
well,
Like he's the
do
my
you
other
mean
cat's not a
cellophane?
playful cat. He's just a lovey cat.
Well, do you mean plastic as in like playing with like cellophane or?
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, especially cellophane, but like basically anything plastic. Like I've caught him playing with I have this plastic mug and I've caught him playing with it, just kind of like batting at it and then he'll go and lick it, but his favorite thing is definitely like just regular cellophane.
Huh.
He's a weird cat.
Yep, all cats are weird.
Yep.
A little bit am-tarded.
One of my favorite cats though, I used to call him Jon Snow because he knew nothing of how to be a cat. And he acted more like a dog. Like he used to wait for me to come home and then like his tail would like twitch as if he's trying to wag it. And he's one of because one of the things that I used to do with all of my cats, although I've kind of like given up now because like the two that I have were both kind of rescue. Um, but like when I have a cat from a kitten, I will train them. I will take the time to train them. And Jon Snow loved to play fetch. Like that was one of his favorite things to do was play fetch. Like you toss something, he would go and grab it and then bring it back to you. And if I told him to drop it, he would drop it. And if I told him to sit, he would sit. And he was basically he was a fucking dog.
Wow, that's not necessarily about quit
Well,
it.
not necessarily. At least he wasn't as like needy and not nearly as licky as some of the dogs that I've had. But he was still a good boy.
Cat, I am not your shield.
Yes, you are.
Can you hear him scuffling?
No. I mean, I kind of hear some jingling every now and then, but not quite like
Yeah, white cat is in the tail thumping phase. You know, like bring that shit over here and I will fuck you up.
yep.
Tail thumping.
Yep.
And Black Cat thinks she's smooth because she'll jump on like the top of a chair and then try to smack the white cat as she goes by. And that's bad for business for Black Cat, because I would say maybe Black Cat's about 3 pounds and White Cat's about 5. So if White Cat gets its gander up, it's gonna fuck that Black Cat up. And legitimately, there's nothing that that Black Cat's gonna be able to do about it except suffer. But apparently, that's a lesson that still has not been learned.
Well, sometimes.
Black Cat should sincerely be wearing a helmet. I'm saying she's a danger to others, but I am saying she's a danger to herself. And I forgot. I'm looking. Oh, good morning, Addie.
Hi, Adamantine.
And they were having fun tonight on Trippy's stream.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I came in and killed the mood, and then I left. Because if there's one thing I'm not when I'm on a stream with a lot of people, is entertaining. I kind of have a tendency, like if there's like 6 or 7 or 8 people in a chat, I'll just hang back and listen. So I mean, it's literally like I'm still in the chat because I'm not exercising my verbal rights.
Thank you, Adamantine. He's saying he's too tired to stick around, but we're both fantastic. So, and you're fantastic too. We appreciate you, Adamantine.
I would say fabulous, but that's kind of a slur. But yes, we love the Addy, and we know, or he should know, that anytime he does have the energy, the door is always open. There are people I just like to have on stream. And I liked Addie's sardonic nature from the moment I met him.
See, for me, first moment I had met him was actually on an episode of Moon of Best Destiny. Uh, and that I didn't initially care for him. Straight up honest, I was just like it. That was not a good stream for me to first experience. And then the next stream was actually one of his streams, um, that I'd gotten in, and he and I bonded really quickly over our appreciation of male bodies.
Um, that seems good, I think.
Yeah.
Because males should have the right to have a body.
Well, well, yeah. I mean, I kind of need males to at least have certain parts of bodies.
Well, you can also buy those certain parts of bodies at Hustler Hollywood.
No, it's not the same. It really isn't. Like, all right, so one of my major like qualms is with toys, because it's just it's and I've talked about this on Not Safe for Wednesday, so I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but it's just not the same. It's not. It's not for me anyway.
Well, I remember working at that certain large lingerie company, and every year they'd have the Christmas preview, and they came out with one. Um, uh, one year they came out with, yes, and this year we're gonna have panties that play a little musical tune. And I just said offhandedly, I'm like, oh my God, so what? You're gonna have a thong that plays "Oh Come All You Faithful"?
What?
She pulled up a pair of panties, and by God, if it didn't play, "Oh, Come All You Faithful."
I'm a terrible human being, but I'm totally okay with that.
I'm like, mock that fucking holiday, would you?
Yeah, no, literally. When she's wearing them, you rip them off, and then you fuck her holiday.
Oh, I'm
You
gonna come.
come,
I'll be faithful to that.
yeah, there you go. See, you get the pun now.
Yeah, but it was so funny because the person who was doing the showcase just kind of looked at me for a minute and stopped, and then picked up the panties and played them, and everybody was like, "Oh, damn!" and they were pointing at me and shit. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm good. I'm fucking good, man. I should be in marketing." And good morning, Jolly Rogers.
Hey, Jolly Rogers.
You know, that's somebody we still need to have on, but
Yeah,
I don't
Jolly
know if his
Rogers.
mic's fixed yet.
Fix your damn mic.
Or as the Firefly Browncoats would say, fix your Goram mic.
Yes.
I have tried to get Nathan Fillion on, by the way.
Oh, that would be amazing if you ever do.
I got feelers out to him. Oh my god. Here's the biggest fuckery. I transferred all my files, right, to a memory stick so I could put them on the Beast. Well, like the genius that I am, when I was transferring them over, they said, do you want to copy and replace this one? And I was like, well, no, I don't want them erasing anything. So I just said, anytime there are conflicts, then just take the one that's already on the drive. Well, that's where I fucked up, because I hadn't backed up that drive since May, and it had my old schedule for for the show. I mean, legit, it was only what was it, episode 7, and I'm up to fucking episode 23 now, and it's got everything. That whole spreadsheet is in there with who I've contacted, on what date have I contacted them, how did I contact them, blah 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 blah. So I've got to break out the old POS computer, stick a monitor on it. We've got an old box monitor somewhere, but stick a monitor on it, grab a mouse, and click and re-download everything.
Oh God.
Well, it's only about 10 gig worth of stuff. But wifey was having the greatest time by saying, "Oh, well, I guess you didn't use the cloud like I told you should." I'm like, I don't fucking trust the cloud,
Yeah, no,
because
fuck
that can
that.
be hacked into.
Yep, and it's been proven time and again that it's easily hacked into.
Well, I don't necessarily fear, being part of the 2018 fappening, but I don't want anybody getting their hands on my fucking stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because that my stories are like my children. And William says that I have never invited him.
Oh, really? Really, huh? How odd. I wonder why, William.
Now, excuse me. I did say, though, sometime that we were going to invite him on.
Yeah, at some point.
We will. There are several people that I would like to bring on. Not just people that hang out in the chat, but some of the people that I have a hard time following people online, but I do make sure and check and respond to posts. Shit that I find funny.
Yeah.
Oh, oh God, I yawned. Um, like I'd like to bring SMG on, but he and I would get into the beaner honky thing again,
Oh
which
no.
is fun for others to enjoy. But yeah, he was technically one of the first guys behind the scenes. Well, he and Joaquin, and to a lesser extent, Anal Vape, and those guys are definitively from three different corners of our internets. But have you ever gotten behind the scenes to talk to somebody and they surprised you how much of an asshole that they were?
Yes.
I'm not going to say name names, but what was the circumstance?
I'm just gonna throw out circumstance was basically witch hunting.
Now, were they hunting you or were they hunting friends?
Um more friends, slightly me, but more so friends. There was actually one incident where somebody had tried to act nice to me behind the scenes, but some of his verbiage, hinted at other things. And then I get to find out later that no, yeah, he was talking shit, and he was trying to get some information to talk shit, and this one was actually against me. And so ever since then it's just been like, okay, like whatever you want to try and pretend, you know like whatever you want to try and act like, oh, this is all okay, but yeah, no, I
So it was a case of gay ops.
yeah, oh, it was such fucking gay ops. And the thing that hurt me most was like, I counted these people as friends.
Yeah, I think people are tired of me just going. You know what, you guys miss me with that shit, would you? I don't need it. Don't want it. Didn't ask for it. Please feel free to go over there and fuck off.
Yeah,
But
if
I
you could
still
fuck off
get
in that general direction, that'd be great.
Yeah, I still get people like, did you hear this person did that to this person? And it's like, you forgot to ask the important question. And they're like, what? And it's like, do I give a fuck? And the answer would be a definitive no.
Yeah, that's a no from me, thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a veto on that one. Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of nice knowing things, and if shit's coming down the pike, that's okay. But unless they're coming straight out and coming at me, then I couldn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Peace be with you, Ramakrishna. Bye.
I just don't understand people sometimes. and
Well,
and it definitely, it definitely breaches what minuscule amount of trust that I have already. Like, it's made me a lot more closed off um since then with a lot of people, uh mostly again because it just fucking, it fucking hurt.
yeah, I mean, uh, there are people that I used to talk with incessantly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when when I first what I like to call when I first revealed myself, because I spent a lot of time lurking and not talking to anybody and not really. I mean, typically I would interact with, like like just throw bants back and forth in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
and these people were more than happy to let me play bartender with them, and they wanted to tell me stuff, and I'm always like, okay, that's cool, it doesn't affect me as long as I get my rent, and then all of a sudden they started pouring in all this creepy shit, and I'm like, no, don't want it, don't need it. And yeah, I mean, people that I thought were cool right at the start uh, ended up to be shitheels.
I mean, the
And
fact that it turned into that, like, and for what reason? And
um,
I don't know. I'm like I said, it just fucking hurt. Like more so than anything else. Like it really fucking hurt.
Numbskull, technically, there is nothing wrong with sex robots,
Uh,
but they will take over the world.
oh fuck yeah, they will.
And Buzz, good morning.
Hey Buzz.
Yeah, it's. Uh, I really want to go into a story here, but I just don't know how I can do it without people eventually figuring out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say that there's been more than a couple people that have sidled up to me, um, you know, acting like a good guy, and me ignoring other people on the internet who there are people who will look out for you. I will tell certain people if they interact with other people that you may want to be cautious, keep them at an arm's length, because these people might be dangerous strangers.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this person sidled up to me because they knew I was talking to this other person. And so they wanted to get into my good graces. And when they thought that they did or had, they started asking me specific, targeted questions about this specific person. And I'm like, nope. You know what? What conversations that I have with this person, those are conversations that I have had. I do not record them. There is nothing for posterity about copying it down. The only reason why anybody ever records anything, this is personally me, is so they can use it on other people, to use it as leverage,
Yeah.
or just to wreck people's profession, which most of the people that are getting the big takedowns are those content creators who are still looking for the donos to keep their lifestyle. And I don't know if it's just a matter of jealousy or just the pure spite. I would suggest it's a little bit of both. That people are either fearful of what they don't understand or hateful about what they don't understand, and it's much easier, instead of having some type of discourse, to just go and try to wreck the person's life by doxing them or swatting them.
Yeah.
Although you notice the swatting shit has definitely cooled down ever since that one kid got got killed. They swatted the wrong house, and a
Mm-hmm.
person who didn't even know what the fuck was going on got killed.
I did not know about that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they found out who the uh, actual person was that called in the swatting, and
Mm-hmm.
they are basically what is it? It's some lesser degree of murder. Um,
Uh, Manslaughter.
yeah, I thought it was something like second degree of manslaughter or complicity to commit a crime. They just started kind of heaping things on them.
Well, I mean, something like that, that's a false report, just to start.
Well, and apparently we've been talking out loud about Buzz. He is the stranger danger.
Oh, oh my.
Hey, as long as there's candy in that van, we're good. If there
I like
isn't, then
candy.
we be throwing hands.
Yeah, if you're gonna promise candy, you better deliver, mister.
Yeah. I don't care how roomy your panel van looks. Okay. They're done. Yay, they're finally done. I have cat
Yeah.
bookends again.
Woo.
And Buzz, honestly, you're still probably at work. I'd invite you on, but I think I've only got maybe about another 10 minutes in me.
Yeah, I'm getting I'm getting pretty close myself.
I got erotically charged because people were pulling knives all during this stream.
Oh, hells yeah, we were.
Hey, it's not bad. I still have a lot of fun. Um, I still have a lot of fun with bringing on people that I don't know. Look at that. There's a lo-fi in the chat.
Low. I kind of want to throw a link to Low.
You kind of should. I mean, she can't sleep at all. So she is an official insomniac.
Yep. Oh, I'm shivering right now. I should probably go inside my house. That would be the wise thing to do.
But I will say this. I had a fight today with wifey about how um, uh, Donald Trump is secretly getting ready to round up all the gays and transgender people, and I really don't want to have that conversation. Good God! I mean, and I was like, I put up a peace sign, and she was like, "Well, um, are you saying that you won or peace?" And I was like, two genders. That is all. I'm boy. Oh, she got pissed. Pissed. And I'm like, listen, we've already had this conversation. We already disagree about it. You're not going to persuade me to your side, and I'm not going to persuade you to mine. So this is where we agree to disagree, or we get angry enough to have some angry makeup sex. Your choice. And she's having a fibro flare, so there will be no angry makeup sex.
Oh. Um, Lo says she doesn't want to be loud, but she appreciates it.
Well, now this is my question. She said that she doesn't want to be loud in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Is she in her apartment?
No, she's still in Texas right now.
Did
So
she
she's
break
trying to
into
be.
a stranger's apartment?
Yes, she did.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Yeah, she's just trying to be polite, and not wake the strangers up. And she raised their pantry for the different kinds of American food that they got.
Oh, because I was gonna say, fuck Tyro, give him earplugs. And then later, if you want to fuck Tyro, then, still keep the earplugs in.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right. I'm going inside the house because I'm cold. I don't need another cigarette. I kind of want another cigarette, but I don't need one. Fuck it. I'm going to go inside the house, grab my jacket, and then come back outside for another cigarette.
Well, if this makes you feel any better, right now it's 44 degrees where I am.
Ugh.
With the real feel, it's 41.
Ugh. See, I'm pretty sure it's probably only like 50 or something like that. But it's like, I'm in California, and so that's fucking cold for us.
See, I'm always in my brain anytime somebody says California, I always think of Mr. Smith. LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Back to Cali, Cali, Cali. Going back to Cali. I don't think so. I don't know why I like that song. I think Mama Said Knock You Out is definitely better. Although I've listened to those words of wisdom and yeah, not fared too well on occasion.
Ooh, Jolly, no. Oh no. You poor thing. He's saying it's 46 degrees for him and raining.
As long as you're inside and Buzz, make sure you're wearing a decent sweater. Oh, by the way, I found out that cable knit Izod that I picked up is like a zip front hoodie, but it's cable knit. Found out why the person go off to a thrift store because it's threadbare in one of the armpits. It's got a hole, and I'm like, I give two fucks about that. Why? It's going to be warm. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of using that as my relaxation costume when I'm when I'm in the hood for the Doc Griffin gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Numbskull. That still kind of reminds me of the bumper sticker that was just a virus. I mean, infecting like a third of the cars that I saw. They had a bumper sticker that said, um, "With the last American leaving Florida, please make sure and take the flag with you." Yeah, I'm. You know what? I really don't want to be bilingual.
Yeah, me neither. I've actually been turned down for jobs before because I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't care. The main language is English in the United States, and there have been people for over 40 years trying to change that and make us bilingual. And they're like, oh, we need to speak English and Spanish. And I was like, no, you want and I'm not being derogatory. No, you want people to be able to speak Mexican. Because it was so funny. When I was in school, we had a foreign exchange student from Spain, and we ran into a couple of cholos and shooting the shit with them. And when we walked away, he goes, "I really didn't understand a fucking word that they were saying when they were speaking Mexican." And I was like, "You mean Spanish?" And he was like, "No, that's Mexican."
Yeah, it's a bit different than Spanish. Mind you, there's plenty of words that are similar, you know, when it comes to because of the basic Latin roots. Even Tagalog, because they have a mix of what the native language used to be, and there's even some I guess Japanese or something like that descent mixed in with the Spaniards that had come in and conquered and fucked around in there. Uh but
And fuck, they did.
yeah, yeah, they really did. But with Mexico, there is a difference between Mexican Spanish and Spaniard Spanish, because of some of the basic words or whatever from when calls it stuff and things. They came in and took over the Aztecs
Yeah.
and a lot of the other Native American or well yeah, that counts as the Americas. So a lot of the other Native Americans that were there. But people easily bypass such things in their memory, and so they assume it's all the same, but it's not. Like you can even talk to someone who's in fucking calls it New York, who I guess would be Puerto Rican, and there's some semblance of the Spanish language in there too. Same with Cuban. There's some semblance of the original Spanish, like based from Latin language there, but it's not the same.
Um, I honestly, I believe I've said this before. I've been completely open. Not a fan of Puerto Ricans.
No,
I do not like them. Most of the Puerto Ricans that I've ever met have been shitheads
you know
or
what I
or crazy bitches that want to stab me when I'm asleep.
you know what I've actually had, and I've lived in California most of my life. I kind of have that same feeling towards Mexicans. And I mean like mostly because like a lot of the women are fucking cunts, and a lot of the men are they make me really uncomfortable because like I've been hit on before, and the way that they'll do it is, you know, they they will it reminds me of getting called by a like when you're trying to like call a dog or a cat, you're just like, here you go, come here. Like that's kind of how it felt, is like I would just get a lot of like kissy sounds like in my general direction. And if I brushed it off or ignored it or didn't acknowledge it, or it was just like, okay, yeah, thanks, no, no, thanks. All of a sudden they're getting mad at me. And I'm just like, why are you getting mad at me because I'm not taking, like, can you not? Thanks.
Yeah, you know what? Take your 5 foot nothing ass and walk away, because all the I won't say that the people around here are illegals that hang out by the taco truck, but they certainly don't look like they're only a few weeks away from getting their citizenship. Uh, but yeah, I think it's so funny because it was like a black white thing for the longest of time. And then when the Mexicans started migrating north, all of a sudden the black people had people they could hate even more because of their skin color. Um, there's a lot of things that I've read. I've seen a lot of stories about gang warfare between like cholos and brothers. And I guess you got some little skinny white guy standing off over in the corner, wiping sweat on his brow, going, "Whew, that was close." Now the two minorities have found the ability to really hate each other a lot.
Oh yeah. One of the big things in the city I live in now is okay, so my baby sister went to school here. I got to go to school in the city we originally lived in, um, which was out in like, oh my God, Orange County. But she got to go to school out here. Like she transferred like midway through her freshman year. Uh, so she started freshman year out here. And her school was like 55% Hispanic and then 40% black. And then the other 10% was like a mix of like some white people and some Asian people and some mixed race and blah 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 blah, like stuff like that. And she she was not a fan. Like there's a lot of just built-in animosity even in just like the ages of 14 to 18, during the ages of high school. There's a
Yeah.
lot of built-in animosity between like the Hispanic and the black.
Well, yeah. I don't know if it was the fact that, and once again, this is going to sound racist, but this is kind of the vision that I've seen over my many years. At the time, the Hispanics were coming in, taking those uneducated jobs that a lot of the black people needed,
Mm-hmm.
and that started building up tensions. And then when they started seeing, cholo gangs running around, um, they're like, ah, no, we ain't having this shit either. Whereas, white people are so stick up their asses that, they don't want to fight. They don't want to get involved with any illicit activity, unless you're a biker. They just want to keep clean, stay the fuck out of it. And for the most part, we have. I read an article like over 15 years ago that predicted um, that Texas would have a huge race war between Mexicans and blacks. It didn't actually happen. There was no modern day Alamo, but yeah, I think people see that there's a pattern, that a cliche is a cliche for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But all I gotta say is fuck Whitey.
Yeah. Jolly Rogers, Bilgewater. Yeah, they gave me that kind of sense of being quite rapey, but I've never interacted with any Haitians, although I've heard a lot about them. And then I don't know what for from Numbskull. Also, Numbskull habla poquito español. Uh, but NorCal, uh, South Sac, no joke. I have no idea what that means. To be to be to be perfectly honest.
I don't
Other
either.
than the NorCal, I know that that's Northern California.
And the South like Sacagawea.
the the South Sac.
I don't know.
I don't
And
know either.
but furry, I don't know if that's something that I achieved, but I've been married to the same woman for like 10 years, and she seems to be happy. And it's so funny because I don't know if you ever had this where, serial monogamist, you're in a long-term relationship, and then once you have to end it, or it ends you, uh, then you have that little section of fuck bunnies that you just nail because these are people that you would never. I mean, okay, you can wake up next to them or wake up to the smell of bacon and eggs for them like cooking to you. But there, that's not the keeper. That's not the one you bring home to mom. And I can say specific. I've had some deals with some Haitians. I've definitely had deals with some Puerto Ricans, and I don't like them. They're shifties. I would love somebody to be able to prove me wrong, but if you've got an SJW video going on, then they're going to try to find like that one person who has a college degree and you found out that they were actually completely separated from their culture, but they're still the official spokesperson on this show or this gig. That stuff drives me nuts.
See, with when it again, like my prejudice again is definitely based more because again, I've never really had any dealings or anything like that with Haitians. But when it comes to you know, mostly honestly, mostly Latinas and a small handful of Latino males. But Latinas are stupid fucking whoring cunts. The ones that I've had to interact with. And on top of that, they think they can fight, you know. And I got to figure this out mostly when my baby sister was going to high school, a little bit when I was going to high school, although I went to high school in a predominantly white and Asian high school. So it was just like a few people there, who were Hispanic or black, and of course they wanted to fight me for some reason or another. One time I got into like, oh my God, that was fucking ridiculous. Some stupid dumb bitch whore got mad because her boyfriend had been talking to me, and I didn't know it was her boyfriend. We didn't do anything or anything like that, but I didn't know it was her boyfriend. And B, it was because I'd seen her making out with some other guy. And so I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were dating her. I thought she was dating like this other guy. But I guess like you two must have gotten together after she broke up with him or something, and blah, blah. And he's like, I've been with her since like, you know, junior high kind of thing.
Cut on, I'm a cock.
Hi cuck.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But she got mad at me for having revealed that because he decided he was gonna dump her. He went and dumped her. He's like, why is it I hear, that you're going making out with some other guys and blah blah blah. And she, cliche enough, wound up getting pregnant. And she tried to claim that it was his baby, but it wound up being like one of the other 20 dudes that she'd been fucking behind his back's baby. Or, well, not other 20 dudes, but like, I don't know, she got mad at me. And so her four other siblings, and then their several other cousins decided to try and jump me while I was walking home from school. And this went on for about a week. A week straight of me whooping her ass, whooping her siblings' ass, whooping her friends' asses, whooping her cousins' asses.
So
you're saying fucking week.
So you're saying that you got your workout?
Oh fuck yeah! High school was horrendous and fun because, and I was an angry child then. I was a really angry child, and that pops up every now and again. Yes.
Oh, good morning, Patrice.
Hi, Patrice. But I was a really angry child then, and it was fucking ridiculous. So I was able to, mind you, it wasn't always me by myself. There was probably only like 2 days where it was me by myself. I know for sure there was one. I think there was one other day where it was just me, but like my friends, a couple of my friends who lived in the same general direction as I did, would walk with me every once in a while. So it wasn't always me by myself. So I wasn't worried about getting jumped, because if I had, I probably would have got my ass beat. Actually, one time I came home with a fucking cut on my cheek. It was a shallow cut because these little fuckers decided they wanted to pull knives, not realizing that this fucking half ching chong fucking white bitch, A, loves sharp objects, and B, carry sharp objects. But they decided they wanted to try and pull knives, and one of the girls got my cheek just ever so slightly. She got my cheek, and so I wound up cutting her hand, which worked out because at least it didn't kill her. I wanted to though. um, but this is mainly fucking Latina bitches. And ever like and then when my family moved out to this city that I'm in now, my baby sister had to deal with this same kind of bullshit from these same fucking Latina bitches. And one of her instances was this bitch decided she wanted to try and start a fight because my baby sister's boyfriend, who uh had kind of been fucking around on her. Well, this bitch wanted my baby sister's boyfriend and was mad that my baby sister had him. Uh, but I guess he was her boyfriend too or something. I don't know. It was ridiculous, dumb, stupid bullshit. And like and I'm just like, okay, so my prejudice against you is raised because of these instances that I've gotten to experience. And that's just a thing. Now I have met a couple who I'm like, okay, we're cool, we're okay, it's fine. Like, I hold back, on I try and correct myself mentally, like, no, she's not the same as these other stupid whores. Um, but she's kind of the same as these other stupid whores. Like, it's one of those, like, it's a constant mental battle with myself where I'm trying to not let past experiences um color my view on all. I don't want to paint all with the same brush, but hot fucking damn is it difficult sometimes.
I got into a discussion, let us call it that, with Diogenes a long time back when BYB was still flourishing, and I had made the point that I don't like Puerto Ricans because they're just they're devious people, and they're a lot of them are criminals. And he's like, well, let me tell you about these statistics. And I was like, guess what? I'm telling you about real life.
Yeah.
This is what I experienced. This is my perspective. So if you don't respect my perspective, that's fine. But unless you can come correct to the table and say that you actually have gone out and interacted, then any type of census fucking poll that you're doing is invalid.
Yeah. I mean, I I've had people try and come and tell me like, oh, this, here are the numbers and blah 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 blah. And no offense taken whatsoever, numbskull. Like, I totally understand, it's fine. Um, but and yes, I agree, Jolly Rogers builds water. But I've had people try and come to me, and I'm just like, no, no, no. I know, hashtag not all. But from my experience, this is what I've had to deal with. And it's as simple as that. I know that it is not all of them, and I'm trying not to paint every single one with that same fucking brush. But the ones the ones who gave me this brush in the first place need to learn to fucking act right. Like, don't and because and that's the thing. Like it's just like not all white people are rednecks or hillbillies. I know
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and I
But
also
if you've
also
lived in an area where that was your experience, then you know what? I understand that. And that's fair enough. And I'm sorry you had that experience and I get it.
yeah, sorry about your luck, but you know what? This is a natural experience. I'm not reading it in a book. I'm not checking for a statistic because that's the truism. Whatever happens in your life builds the foundation. Now, I do personally believe that racism, uh, it's still around somewhere, deeply nestled, but the racism follows with all colors. It's not just the white people hating everybody else.
Yeah.
No, there is some blatant and violent racism when it comes between some cliques, and that's practical information. And you can quote your statistics all day and all night, but you know that doesn't mean that you have an educated opinion or that anybody should listen to your quote unquote educated opinion.
It's just your opinion with no experience to really back it other than what you read in a fucking book or
Yeah, I guess
read
it.
on in an article or read, like and and you know what? Like go ahead and believe what you want to believe. Feel free to come down to my neck of the woods and figure some shit out all on your own. Now, mind you, I am a firm believer that Asians are the most racist people. And this is coming from somebody who is half Asian herself. Because my so one of the beautiful things about my mom is she's had a lot of experience with a lot of different groups of people, and so and one thing you never call my mom is Oriental, and because she will flip her shit, and she's even racist against some of her own people. Like it'd be like it would be like, you know me living where I live, and then if you try and say it, and if you find out I'm from Cali, and you're like, oh, what are you? Are you one of those like LA people? I'm like, fuck no, ew, no. And that's kind of how my mom is, except she's more like, I'm not no fucking Oriental, like, or I'm not one of those women from, this city or that city or whatever. Like she's because the cities are different and just the behaviors in just individual cities are different. And my mom's not one of those. In fact, she used to lie, and she'd admitted this to me. She used to lie when people would ask, "Oh, what city are you from?" in her country, and she'd lie because she didn't want to be associated with um any of the girls in the city that she lived in, because they were the fucking like the soldier sluts. They were
Oh,
soldier
okay.
sluts, and their whole goal was to find themselves an American soldier who was there overseas for one reason or another. um I think this was during the Gulf War, or right before the Gulf War, something like that. But like they wanted to fuck them and hopefully get knocked up by them. And my mom, she's like, I'm not one of those. And she she met my dad in like some dance club, and he followed her home, you know
Dude,
like he fell in love with her from the first moment he saw her. Well, I can't say fell in love because otherwise he wouldn't have been as big of, anyway.
um,
Ugh.
I,
But
I,
he
mm,
followed her home. He wanted to marry her right then and there, and he just wanted to be with her. And then finally, like after weeks of him trying to like just get a date out of her, she finally agreed to go out with him.
and she was never heard from after that.
Nope, she was swifted away to the U.S.
I am officially burnt.
Yep.
I am ready to call it a morning. I don't know if there's anybody up and running around. Just as a preemptory, I'll go ahead and take a look real quick. No, the only thing that's running is the Fox News live stream. So good luck with that, people.
I mean, Blackout was awake earlier, and he'd gone to get himself some food, so maybe he'll do a stream in a bit. It's close to morning time, and I know usually mornings have Optic Decay running something.
Yeah, well, at 9 o'clock, and Joke might chime in too and do a little WJOK.
Yeah.
And if you guys really like this stream, please go and sub to Cadunt.
No.
Yes.
You sub to Doc. If you
I got
like
enough
this
subs.
stream.
I'm fine.
Nah, you need
I'm doing okay.
You need some more.
And don't torture me by tonight yet, because I did not fucking know. I was locked out of Streamlabs due to my own boomer ignorance. So I will though say I found out that Bass Trap Kayla did $2 just to taunt me. To make me figure out the actual tech, which took for fucking ever. Because what I needed to do wasn't something that I could do in Streamlabs, so I had to go someplace else and figure out how to work that shit. And so it drove me insane. And I'm tired now. So everybody, yeah, if you want to throw some love my way, wifey always insists that I throw my Streamlabs in there, so there it is.
And make sure to follow Doc on Twitter.
Yeah, I can be funny from time to time. So hopefully you might get a laugh a day. I still meme, so that's not a bad thing. But yeah, I think well, around these here parts, the sun's probably going to be up in the next couple of hours. And I think that I think that everybody should have a very lovely and prosperous day. Hopefully you'll have a good day at work that has no hassle, but at least a little bit of fulfillment to it. But well, I hate to say this, people, but for our guest this evening, Merc, and of course, my lovely and capable co-host, Kadan, I would like to wish everybody a wonderful day today, but I'm going to bed, fuckers. Bye.
Later.
Later, Tater.